Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Right, well, pleased to welcome our special guest this evening. You've probably seen him in Press Gang and Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, and you may have even seen some of the films he's directed. Sunshine in Leith, Wild Bill, and that thing about Eddie the Eagle Edwards. It's a great pleasure to welcome Dexter Fletcher to the studio. Dexter Fletcher's here in the studio. It's such a thrill to meet, finally, Dexter Fletcher in the studio. Well, it's with great pleasure I can now say let's a big hello to Dexter Fletcher in the studio. It's Dexter Fletcher, everybody. Dexter Fletcher's here. No, but seriously, it's a real thrill to be sat opposite Dexter Fletcher. Here in the studio. Hey everybody, it's Dexter Fletcher. It's the Dexter Fletcher Show. And here's your host, Dexter Fletcher. Hey, what a thrill. I watched you on TV when I was younger and I've seen your movies. You're Dexter Fletcher. Here in the studio.
Thank you. Hello?
Yeah, Dexter, this is Iain. You're on the air. Where the bloody hell are you?
I'm outside in the street looking for you. I mean, you know, if you could make it more apparent where you are,
flipping heck!
I'd be able to find my way into where you are. I mean, God's sake, man!
Gee, don't have a go at me. I've had to fill
You're shouting at me. You're shouting at me.
I've just had to fill for the last 4 minutes because you're not here.
Look, you're a professional man. Just calm down. Try and maintain an equal kind of balance and talk me in. Tell me where you are. Is it number 16?
No, it's number 8. It's steady. It's number 18. There'll be a grumpy old man on the desk.
Right, okay. What's his name? Ian as well? Was his name Ian?
It's Brian.
So
it's got some of the same letters in.
Okay.
I'm only grumpy because you're 5 minutes late for an interview that you phoned me up today begging to come in. You were begging me to come in.
It's true. I got held up cooking some Brussels sprouts. It's a very long, boring story. I don't want to go into detail. But the sprouts there's someone waving at me. Doesn't look like a Brian.
That's Kath.
Rihanna.
That's Rihanna. That's Kath.
Kath.
She's with us. Follow Kath.
Well, you say that. She's shaking my hand. Hello. All right. Hello, evening. All right. How are you doing, mate? Good hat. Yeah, nice one. All right, I'm coming to you, Ian. You seem to be all in a tizzy. Right, you seem to be all upset.
I'm going to cut you off.
I'm going.
He's annoying me now. It's going to be a tense. It's going to be a tense interview, I think. Blimey. Dear, if you want to speak to Dexter Fletcher, 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. Let's see if we can stream this on Periscope, shall we? I've got to type in passwords and things like that. Bloody celebrities, isn't it? Celebrities. They give you so much hassle. They come across as all, nice, chirpy, cockney chappies and stuff. And he's nothing. Right, let me just start this. Dexter Fletcher. Here we go. Let's put that on Periscope. Oh, flipping. Here he comes. Come on. In your car, I'm just setting up the periscope.
Why are you shouting at me?
Well, mate, come on. Do you know what I mean? Why have you got that on? So they can see you.
What, is that the outside world, is it?
Sit down.
Where do I sit? Over here?
Yes. Nice to meet you at last.
Well, obviously this show is in desperate need for entertainment. If you're like phoning me up and telling me I'm 2 minutes late.
Well, but I told you. You phoned me up today. Admittedly, I was in bed when you phoned.
I don't want to know the gory details.
2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
How you doing, man? You all right?
As you're breathing down my neck on the street, I thought I'd better see you face to face.
It was a weird thing, because we were talking about you the night before.
Right.
And then I was walking, and I don't normally walk. I'm very lazy, but I was walking from a gig in Soho to my car, which was parked.
Where was your car?
It was parked. There's a brilliant car park just off the Edgware Road.
Okay, yeah.
No,
yeah.
trust me.
I do.
And it's just outside the congestion.
Oh, I see.
14 quid.
Right.
All day.
Okay.
That is a bargain.
That
for
makes
London.
sense. I've sort of got rid of a car.
Oh.
I've just nixed the whole idea of the car.
Really?
Yeah. I
Why?
don't bother. Well, I live in Clerkenwell, you know.
Oh, I say.
Yes.
Someone invested well when they were younger.
Oh, yeah. I was very shrewd.
Well done.
Yeah, no, I did invest badly when I was younger and lost it all. But on the rebound,
Did you?
I've managed to.
Because my early TV career, when you first
Yeah.
start earning TV money, it happened for me a bit later than you. I was 25, 26.
Thank you.
And I was earning a fortune.
Yeah.
I blew it. I blew it.
Yeah,
Oh,
me
did you
too.
do the same thing?
I did, yeah. I lost it all. I started earning when I was. God, I mean, I did my first work when I was like 6 years old.
Yeah.
And I remember on Bugsy Malone, when I did Bugsy Malone, I earned £15 a day. But this is in 1976.
Yeah, good money.
Good money. And I did 4 days, so I had 60 quid. So I was used to that kind of very high-flying lifestyle.
I don't know your background, but did your parents or the people looking after you, did they not say, right now, Dex, what you're going to do, you can have 10 quid to go to spends, and the rest of it we're going to invest?
Yeah, no, I mean, that didn't unfortunately happen. No, my parents were primary school teachers, essentially. My mum's a primary school teacher and my dad was a lecturer.
Yeah.
And they didn't really know a great deal about it. My nan, who's still around now, Grace, lives in Oxton. She was a bit of a song and dance woman, and it sort of came from her, really.
Really?
Yeah, and so I got 2 older brothers, and we all ended up going to this drama club in Islington. Which is called Anna Scher's.
Yeah,
people
of
like
course.
Phil Daniels and
famous.
Pauline Quirk, and loads of people went there, and that's it. Sort of came from there, but no one really had any sort of like, okay, let's get the kids on stage and get them earning dough. So there was no master plan in that respect.
What was the first gig then? First paid gig?
The first paid gig that I remember doing was Steptoe and Sun Rides Again, which was a film, and I was playing one of Diana Dawes' many kids.
Blimey, you're not that old, are you? That's incredible.
I'm 50.
Wowzers.
I'm 50, and all your listeners are out there tweeting, asking about press gang and all of that sort of stuff, asking about this, that, and the other. I am 50 years old.
Yes.
Press gang was a long time ago.
When is that Press Gang movie going to happen, Dexter?
There's talk of it. We're all circling now. Yeah, we've read the script. It's all very good. Stephen Moffat keeps knocking out more and more scripts. I don't know.
But it's unusual, because this is what fascinates me about you. Is someone I do. People that make it as kids and have success as kids and carry on in the business, doing it 45 years later, that's no mean feat. How have you sustained it?
It's an interesting question, because if you look at it, not a lot of people do. I mean, I've thought about it long and hard on many an occasion, and even as a director now, I like working with kids. That's something
a lot of them either stop or they go off the rails and go crazy.
Well, that's it, because I mean, my take on it is that it's kind of like your mum and dad getting you to play the recorder when you're a kid.
Yeah.
You eventually grow up and you go, well, I don't want to play the recorder. I want to go and do what I want to go and do. And so you find your own sense of identity and the things that you love and are passionate about. And so my take is that a lot of child actors probably go, I don't want to be an actor. I want to go and do something else. And that's probably what they do. Or there's some who do, you sort of lose your way, because there's this very strange thing that happens, is that you kind of grow up. You're very precocious, because you're sort of working in an adult environment at a very early age, and you're expected to do everything that the adults do. I mean, I was on Elephant Man when I was 14.
I saw that.
Right.
It's a long time since I've seen that movie, but
it's a great film.
Yeah.
But so then I was a 13-year-old kid on set with some amazing people.
Yeah.
Now, I can look back in retrospect and go, God, that's amazing. But I was doing the same job in essence that they were. Maybe not as accomplishedly as they are, because it was John Hurt and,
But, but if you're going to start hanging around with people who are better than you when you're young, people like John Hurt, you can't go wrong, can you?
And he's a great man.
Yeah.
But what I suppose I'm saying is that your responsibilities are that of an adult.
Yeah.
And so you're precocious in that way. But then when you get to actually being an adult, because you've been so kind of looked after and you've not really had to do a great deal for yourself, it's very hard to grow up, because what's required of you is that you are a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what you know and understand works for you. So you have to do this incredible kind of it's very tricky. It took me. That's why I lost everything, because I couldn't navigate that in my 20s.
What in your 20s was that?
I kind of really lost sight.
And what was it? You just didn't have a grip on what you were doing?
I certainly didn't have a grip on my finances.
Right.
I left that to someone who couldn't really cope with that.
Right.
And so that all went very badly wrong. So then I ended up owing the tax man an incredible amount of money, and I just didn't take any adult responsibilities. I would go and do my work, which then started to suffer because I wanted to just party. I wanted to just go and party. I was a young guy. Yeah. And so that's where it all sort of kind of gets blurred and muddied. And
how did you make the crossover from being primarily an actor? I would suggest now you're primarily a director. Would you classify yourself that way? I mean, you're still doing both.
The acting's certainly taken a back seat.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I made the crossover. Was that after doing Hotel Babylon for 4 years, and then they cancelled that show, as they do. These things come and go, which was very lovely, because after being bankrupt and having nowhere to live, and then finally meeting my wife and getting married and settling down and kind of growing up, that job gave me financial stability that I hadn't had for many, many years. I never really had. And then that ended, which was all fair enough. But I had always had this idea for a film or a screenplay, which I kind of wrote with a mate of mine who was a writer called Danny King. And then I found this producer and I said, I've got this script. And she said, great, send it to me. So I gave her the script, and then she just made the assumption that I was going to direct it.
Really?
And then when she did that, I just thought, well, I'm not going to contradict that.
Yeah.
Because she said, well, it'd be great, you're directing.
And had you done any directing before?
No, I hadn't.
Your first thing was a feature?
My first thing was a feature. I'd worked on a short film that I'd written that my wife had directed. My wife works in theatre and opera. Right. And she directs theatre and opera primarily now. So she directed a short film that I'd written a long time ago that Bob Hoskins was in. Yeah. Because he was an old mate. And
you were in The Long Good Friday as well.
I was, exactly. I struck a great friendship with Bob after that. But I used to direct an acting workshop with my brother in Jackson's Lane Community Centre.
Oh, I know Jackson's Lane. I used to live around the corner from there. Yeah, it's a fantastic place.
Great place. Yeah. And every Monday night, for many years, my brother and I would kind of go there and invent these crazy acting, exercises, and workshops, and do that for you. So I had a lot of experience working with actors. And then
but still putting a movie together. And seeing, I suppose if you'd written it, you could see it, but it's
I know, but I had a huge stroke of luck that there was this fantastic camera operator called George Richmond, he was a great operator. Yeah. And he'd just been working on War Horse, and he'd done these incredible movies, and his dad was a director of photography, but he was a really accomplished operator, younger, and he was looking for his first step up to be a director of photography. Yeah. And he read the script, and he came and found me, and he went, well, you could get somebody else to do this, but if you didn't, you'd be a idiot. Yeah. Right, get me to do it, because I really want to do it. And he did the camera work on a fantastic film called Children of Men. Okay. Which is a phenomenal film. Yeah. With Clive Owen and Julianne Moore. And it's an incredible film, amazing piece of filmmaking. And he was the operator on that. And so I knew that when this guy came through the door and wanted to do that, I was in really good shape there. And so I've done 3 films, and he's done all of them, and now he works with Matt Vaughan a lot doing all the Kingsman movies. Oh, flip it, Nick. So, it's all those sort of things coming together.
Let's talk Wild Bill.
Okay.
This is what we were talking about.
How did that come round?
A lunatic woman called Tony phoned up.
Oh, right.
And she was banging on about this film. Well, you got to watch Wild Bill. I'm not going to tell you what happens.
She can't be that much of a lunatic.
Oh, she's nuts.
Okay.
She's nuts. She's probably listening, so I better be careful. She might phone in and we'll never get a word in edgeways. Oh. But she's going, you've got to watch Wild Bill. Watch it to the very last frame. You've got to watch it. Yeah. And she's one of those people. She's very sweet, bless her. She goes, I don't want to spoil it for you. But there's this scene. I was going, don't tell me anything about it. She's like, right, but there's one bit, and I'm going, please don't tell me anything about it. Right. So that was on the Wednesday, and then the Thursday. Yeah. I'm just walking down the street. Bloody hell, it's Dexter Fletcher, and I'm I'm not very good at approaching people, and I saw you were on the phone.
I kind of remember it was at a crossroads, wasn't it? It's just outside. We was at we stopped at the to let the cars go by.
Yeah.
It was round the back of Selfridges.
Yes, it was around the back of Selfridges, and you saw me staring at you.
I did.
God, that's sad. That's sad. I wasn't. I mean, I was slightly
Well, you're big,
aroused.
you're intimidating. You have a huge beard.
Oh, was I intimidating? That's good to know. I did have a very slight.
Really? Okay. Well,
Chubby going.
I know that's very, very flattering. Thank
But I
you.
thought it was a real coincidence, and
Obviously.
that's why I tweeted you. And blah, blah,
Yes,
blah,
yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah, blah. So I watched Wild Bill.
Yeah.
It's not very good, is it?
Well, I like it. I appreciate that you have a different opinion.
Wasn't really my cup
and
of
that's
tea.
what makes the world go round.
No, it was. I loved it. It was brilliant. I tell you what it reminded me of.
Thank you.
Is it Dead Man's Shoes?
Dead Man's Shoes
It
is a
reminded
great
me
film.
of that.
One of my favourite films.
It's a great film.
It's a huge compliment.
It's not as dark as Dead Man's Shoes, because
No.
that scene where they all take loads of drugs. I mean, that
is seriously dark. There's a great actor
incredible.
called Gary Stretch in that.
Yeah.
He used to be a boxer.
Right.
Yeah, anyway,
It's,
yes,
it's such a good film.
It's a great film.
But it reminded me, it had a similar darkness to it.
Yeah.
I hope you take that as a compliment.
No, I
that
do,
it's,
I do.
that it's intended. How did you come about to do Wild Bill?
Well, like I was saying, that I'd had this story in my head for a long time, and the truth of it is that many years ago, when I worked with Bob Hoskins, when on the Long Good Friday, and I became friends with him, and there was he would come around to a dinner, and I was still a kid of like 13, 14, 15. He became good friends with my parents. And Bob was like, we should do a film together. And this idea kind of cooked up about a bloke who came out of prison and found his son living alone, burgling houses.
Was this the first film you did then? Was it the Wild Bill?
Wild Bill was the first film I directed.
Was
yes.
it really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Well, yes.
Did real? Okay.
No, thank you.
Oh, it's very accomplished.
Well, it's been a long time in the
okay, go
gestation
on.
period.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bob and I sort of came up with this idea, and this was 30, 40 years ago.
Wow.
And it always stayed with me, this idea of a bloke who got out of...
Yeah.
And then it's about what touches slightly on what we were talking earlier about, how, as a child, you kind of grow up very quickly as a child actor, and you have all this adult responsibility, and then as an adult, you're sort of still a child. And so I kind of thought that's a really interesting dynamic. If I can get a character who is essentially a man boy, a man child, and then a boy who's a man, and put them together, and then see what happens. That's kind of where I jumped off. So I put him in prison for 8 years. He'd never grown up. He'd never grown out of being that wide boy, Wild Bill, dangerous guy. And then his son, I gave him a little brother, so that he had to have that parental grown-up responsibility. And then I threw them together. So it's very personal in that respect, because it was sort of two sides of my own experience. In that, as a child, I was very grown up, and as an adult, I was completely childish.
Yeah.
So what I was sort of exploring was looking around those themes, and that's how it came around. But also within that, I had my dark moments. I ended up living in a car with no money.
Did you really?
Yeah.
It got that bad?
It got that bad. Yeah.
Flipping heck.
And I sort of spiraled down into drugs and drink and all of that number.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I've got to use that. That's what I need to touch on. I need to talk about what I know.
Yeah.
So that's where the heart of the story is.
Well, it's funny you mention that. I had a history with drinking drugs and stuff. And it's really interesting because the drugs in it, they're not glamorous drugs. They're not the fun drugs. It's dark. That scene where they're up smoking crack for 3 days and they're all going a little bit nuts.
Yeah,
and
they're cooking up and all that. Yeah.
It's horrible.
It is.
It's really grim. And
It
using
is.
that kid, the boy that plays it's Jamie, isn't it?
The youngest one is Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy.
He's amazing.
Sammy Williams is
absolutely amazing.
Yeah, he's a brilliant.
Where did you find him?
It's one of those things that, they say, people always say to you, you're casting kids, it's going to take forever, they're really hard to find kids, you've got to start now, it's really difficult, kids are really hard to find. And I was like, okay, it's good, because I do know that when kids are not good, they're really bad. It's difficult acting, you need experience, you need to know what you're doing, but when you're very natural, it's great. And the first 4 kids that came in, he was one of those kids.
Wow.
And I just knew,
Yeah.
because of my own experience, because I knew what I was looking for, because I could see how he works. And Will Poulter, who plays the older boy, had a lot of experience in a thing called School of Comedy.
Yeah.
So I knew I wanted him. And he was desperate to do it, which was great for me.
Yeah.
And it was his first sort of film as a grown-up. And so already him and Will was there, and I got him working I got these two working together, basically, and it just sort of flew. And I was like, right, if I'm smart, I get this kid, I get Will, and I don't interfere. I let them become brothers as much as I could. So I'd say to Will, you really got to buddy him up. You've got to be his brother. You've got to be his best mate. You've got to be his big brother. And that's what Will did. And they became very close, and that
you can tell. You can see that.
It really works, and they felt comfortable around each other, which was important. And he gives a fantastic performance.
My favourite scene, right? And it's a tiny scene, but it's an integral one. And as soon as I watched the film, I tweeted, "I've just finished Wild Bill. It's brilliant." And someone on Twitter pointed out the same thing. The bit right towards the end, just before the fight, when he's going down in the lift. Yeah. And you just see it, and nothing happens. In his face, he's just getting ready because he knows he's got to have this confrontation. Yeah. That was beautiful. Yeah, absolutely
that's
beautiful.
Testament to Charlie Creed Miles, who plays Bill.
Incredible.
Well. Yeah,
it doesn't say anything, doesn't do it. It's just his face. Yeah. It's amazing.
No, it is. Yeah, I mean, I was talking to him actually
while
that was going on. I was talking to him, and what he was doing, what I was talking about. As he was going down in that lift, it's a real lift. So we was in a real tower block in Newham, and it was emptying out, and it was on the 16th floor. And we were really lucky because we didn't have a lot of money, but on the 16th floor in this tower, the whole tower block was pretty much empty. There was like 3 families living in it. And so Newham Council gave us a whole floor of flats. They were all empty. And we had the 16th floor. And so I got him in the lift, and he was going down, and I was like, okay, you're coming out of prison, and you're getting on the coach, and you're going back home, and you're stopping and you're phoning. And I just talked him through the whole film, all the different beats. And in that moment, what's going on is that he's in his head, he's going through the whole story of the film in his head up until that moment.
It's beautiful.
And that's why, for me, it works really well. And although there's nothing said and there's a great little bit of music on it, it just is just a really... How
much fun is it choosing all the music? That must be
a
great job. Just going through your record collection, going, we'll have that, we'll have a bit of that.
Exactly. I mean, if you can afford it, that's the thing. Well. Because, then I was like, I've got to have the Clash at the beginning. Yeah. I really wanted this. There's this great Clash track called Armageddon Time. You can't get it because they covered it from some old Jamaican guy who sold the rights off to about 4 or 5 different people. And you just can't get it. You can buy 75% of the rights, but the last 25% you can't. We couldn't find it. So
I had a really good program about Jamaican music on Radio 4 the other day, and that was really common. Is that someone will go into one publishing company and sell it, then they go into another publishing company down the road and sell it again, and just keep selling it and selling it.
Yeah, well, that's what we came up against because I mean I got Guns of Brixton. I didn't do badly. I mean it was a result, but. Armageddon Time was what you do. You sort of put it together in your head. You kind of put your dream tracks on and then see where you end up. And some of them were just madly expensive and you can't afford it. And others are like really cheap and you go, great, we'll have that. We didn't have a big music budget.
Shut up, for goodness sakes. Can you stick around for another 5 minutes or so?
Yeah. All right, I haven't finished my tea yet.
Put your headphones on because we've got a couple of calls.
Oh, okay.
There's a little volume controller if you follow the lead, just in case it gets a bit too loud or anything. Do we do this? Alan, you're through to Dexter Fletcher.
Hip, 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 boy.
Good evening, Alan.
Hello.
Dexter's a big fan of mine. I watch John Press Gang and Games Master.
Thank you. I can't actually hear you very well because this thing doesn't work.
Honestly, you're not really missing a lot. Let me come round and fiddle with it.
Are you fiddling with that? But that volume switch is broken, mate. Look at that. That's seriously broken.
I tell you what, take them off.
Oh, no, I'm in.
You in?
Yeah. I'm about to plug in. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me now?
I can. Is it Alan?
Unfortunately,
yes.
Alan, but you're a big fan of Press Gang and Games Master.
Yeah.
I got that much.
What inspired you to play Spike in Press Gang?
What inspired me? Well, they offered me the job, mate. That was really what it came down to, and then they offered me the job. I was 22 at the time, and I think I had a bit of a twinkle in my eye for the girl in it as well.
Yeah,
for Julia.
Yeah, for Julia. So that was good. That all helped. And there was another bloke in it called Paul Reynolds as well, who's a great, very funny actor I really liked. And then they gave me the job, so I was like, okay, that's good. And then they suddenly decided at like the 11th hour that my character should be American.
I know that is because there's so many people have said, have said, I didn't know he wasn't American.
Yeah.
How did that meeting go down? You got called in one day and they said, right, yes, one thing. How's your American accent?
They didn't say how's your American accent. They just like do it in American. I was like, sorry. There was a little American producer, a woman called Sandy Hasty, who's a great producer. And it was her kind of baby and Stephen Moffat. She kind of found Stephen Moffat and very in the early days. He was a school teacher in Paisley.
Wow.
And he wrote all of the scripts. He wrote absolutely every word of Press Gang. But it was an 11th hour decision. She's American. She was like, yeah, we decided that he should be American. And I was like, okay. And the last time I'd done an American accent was probably in Bugsy Malone.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a bit more than that. Anyway, so if you watch it back now, it doesn't actually stand up, I don't think.
Right.
But it's easy to fool people when they're sort of 12 years old.
Yeah, well, you say 12. I mean, what year when did Press Gang start?
Well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I was 20.
I think it was 89.
You know it was 89, Alan, because you've been Wikipedia in it.
No, I'm not. Look, I'm not touched the phone because I've got a black screen on my screen.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well, because it was. I remember watching it 16, 17, 18 years old. You know, it was a huge thing as a young people's drama.
It was smart in that way. Yeah. I mean, I think what I like about it as well is that I meet a lot of journalists now who say, yeah, you know, I'm a writer. I'm a journalist because of Press Gang, which is kind of
that's incredible.
Which is kind of cool that. You know, that Stephen inspired a lot of people.
Alan, I'm going to cut you off because I think you're scaring Dexter.
Sorry.
There we go.
That's all right.
He's a real person.
All right, I believe it.
Yeah, let's go to Dana. Hello, Dana.
Hip, 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 Sir Iain, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Dana. You're through to... It's like swap shop.
Good, how are you?
I'm good.
Dana, is it Dana?
It's Dana.
It's Dana, yes. Hello, a big, again, like Alan, big fan.
Thank you.
And I have to say, you know, you may not have it on the top of your resume and that, but your death in Kick-Ass was great.
Oh, yes. No, it's up there at the top. Why would I not be proud of that?
That's a great film. I'd forgotten about that.
I was crushed in a yellow Range Rover by Nick Cage.
Yeah, I'd forgotten about that.
You're very kind to bring it up, Dana. I appreciate that. Some people don't know my more darker recesses of my my career, but that's something that needs light thrown on it.
It is always a moment, and there's that scene when we're looking from the inside of that industrial microwave, and you're outside, and you're all mouthing, because we can't hear, because obviously it's soundproofed, and the look on your face, it's just great. It's lovely little moments like that. I know, you know, at the end there you've done much bigger things and more...
No, sure, it's all good. No,
but it's those little things like that stick in the mind.
Great.
You know, I just wanted to ask you a question.
No, I do, honestly, I genuinely appreciate it. That's good to...
As you can hear, I'm old. You won't know this, but I'm transsexual, and I'm trying to do the acting thing now. I had an audition today.
Great. How'd it go?
Well, I think it went well. I knew all my lines. Let's put it that way.
That's the key.
That's a bonus.
That's the key.
You know, I was sitting there on the train muttering to myself the lines, but it went well. But we'll see.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'm doing some filming in Brick Lane.
Okay.
And that's just, you know, background. And I've been, over the last few months, been doing a lot of background work.
Yeah.
But I want to do acting, and I wanted to know what your opinion is, because a lot of people say if you do background work, you're never going to get any acting. And then other people, no, do background work, get experience, and that helps you. What do you think?
Well, I think that there's an argument for getting the experience. That's certainly no bad thing. And the thing is that there's no defining when a career can maybe take hold and when something can happen for you, because there is a sort of element of not randomness, but it's kind of like, you know, it can happen at any time. So I think the more experience you have of being on a set, the less daunted you are when that moment comes, when you have to step up and say your lines. And that's a good thing, because the key to good acting is confidence, and confidence comes through experience, and experience comes from being there and doing it as much as you can, is what I would say, and knowing your lines. It's like you said, I knew my lines, and that, you know, it's like Tony Hopkins is a great example. You know, he is like super diligent on his lines. He's always, you know, meticulous about knowing every word, because that gives you freedom. There's no nerves in the way of you and then the dialogue. And the other thing is, if you look at someone like Bryan Cranston, for example, who's now just turning 60, he's just, his career is suddenly exploding huge. And so there is no limits on it, really. It's just about how that moment comes along and how you define yourself in that moment, what you do, how you grab it.
It's a case of keep on keeping on, you know, just keep on. The number of auditions and things I went to before I got my first gig on TV, I mean, 25, it happened comparatively young, but it's just, it's a lot of luck involved, and just having the right face. Yeah. That's the thing.
And but there's also no doubt, I mean, like, you know, I've been acting since I was 6 years old, and I'd done huge things, and I also spent 5 years not working at all. And so it's no, and it didn't stop me being recognised on the bus, but at the same time...
You've got no money in the bank and people are going, hey, it's Press Gang! Dana, thank you. I've got to say, Dexter...
Good luck with it though, Dana.
You smell wonderful.
Right, that's good.
What the hell are you wearing? Sorry,
That's great. It's good.
I'm a married man, but you smell stunning.
Thank you very much. It's Penhaligon's. There's a lovely perfumers called Penhaligon's.
There we go. Let's have one more call, then we'll
I've given out a plug now. Maybe they'll send me 3 litres
get some free stuff. Kelly's in Amsterdam.
Nice.
Hello.
Hello.
I am British. but I'm in Amsterdam. I got you on Periscope, so I had to call in because I'm a huge, as the others are, I'm a huge fan of Dexter Fletcher.
Thank you.
Since the Press Gang days, but then I sort of started looking into occult stuff like Raggedy Rawny and the Rachel Papers, and I was just looking on IMDb and...
Stalker alert!
Well, yeah, I was a teenager. I mean, come on. And with the American accent and the leather jacket, come on.
Yes.
And still...
What's not to love?
So,
he was the James Dean of the late 80s.
Yes, completely. But fair play to him for all his strength for coming back, and he's a fighter and he's still going strong and still producing quality work.
Thank you.
I just really wanted to say hi, and it's made my day. It's made my life.
That's very sweet of you.
Nice.
And for mentioning some other dark and lesser-known pieces of my work. That's really wonderful.
Kelly, thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Kelly.
Was it in your dark days? And I don't want to dwell on that because you've had many. Was there ever any? I've got to do something else. I'm going to do something else. When you were skin, and then it would all gone pear shaped.
I don't know. I don't know if there was. I mean, I think I always no. Is the answer. I mean, I think I had my dark days, but I was working, and then when things started breaking down, I sort of really had to start again.
Yeah,
what happened was that I met my wife. Of course, she wasn't my wife immediately. She was a theatre director.
That would have been weird.
Yeah, it would have been weird.
Yes.
Oh, you're my wife. That's it. No, but it was a lovely friend of mine called Alan Rickman, who I'd worked with as a kid as well, and
fantastic.
And I'd bumped into him. And I was in a bit of a state, and he looked at me like, wow, what's wrong with you? And then I started getting these calls to go and do theatre, which I hadn't done for a long time. I did a lot of theatre when I was in my teens, but I hadn't done it for a while. And I got calls to go and, meet this director, this Lithuanian theatre director who trained in Russia, who was doing plays with Mark Rylance and Phil Daniels and stuff. And I was... seriously insecure and unconfident. I was like, no. Eventually, anyway, I went and met this woman who was amazing, and the play was fantastic. And I ended up doing a play in the Old Red Lion in Islington.
Yeah.
And which is on the street that we live on now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, ironically enough. Anyway, but so...
Don't tell people where you live. You've heard the callers that we've got.
Oh, yeah, exactly. They come from Amsterdam and track me down. But I think I went through this period where I sort of had to start again, and that's what I did. I went back to a very small theatre, and there was 60 people in the audience. It was very small.
How did that feel? Did it feel humiliating?
No. I've never had a problem with being humble.
Right.
I think that's one strength that I have had. I understand that I've seen many kind of careers, and I know it just goes up and down.
Because we as British people, we like. We like looking at people who have been up there and are back down there and down on their luck. We like to point and stare, which is a terrible trait.
That's true. I think I mean, it's like I think there's an element of well, I haven't made that mistake, so I feel better about myself because I've not made that, and I made mistakes, and I was kind of open to doing that, but. I'm not so open to it now. Now I want to keep working and being good at what I do. And whereas before I kind of didn't care about myself or what I delivered, but that changed. And so I had these periods of not working a lot, on earning very little money, if not nothing at all. But I sort of was redefining how I approached what I wanted to do. So I kind of went, I'm starting from scratch.
I think that's really inspiring.
I have to put that all away and say, OK, I was in a film with Al Pacino playing his son at 19. That is gone. Yeah. That's gone. And
that's amazing to be able to have done that.
It was a light moment, the light went on moment, but so now where I've got to where I am, I feel it's like my big second chance round. That's why it's much more important to me.
It's fascinating watching your directing career kind of, just go up and up and up. Wild Bill, fantastic. Of course, the Sunshine
on Leith.
The Proclaimers musical.
Yes.
Where did that about? What is that? Where did that idea come from?
It was they did it as a musical in Dundee. It was a musical.
Yeah.
this writer sort of said that he sat around with a bottle of scotch one night. Goes, why is there a Scottish guy called Greenhorn? Stephen Greenhorn.
Yeah.
And he's like, there's no Scottish musicals. And he was listening to Sunshine on Leith, the album.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm going to make this into a musical.
Yeah.
He approached the guys, and they did it in Scotland for a while up there in Dundee. And then some smart ticket bought the rights to make it into a film, and it somehow found its way to me.
Is that how it works now? But you get big manila envelopes with scripts and...
Yeah, people come to you
Wow.
and say, look, we have this project, what would you do? And you have to read it and go, right, this is what I think.
Wow.
And obviously, I'm not the only person it goes to.
Yeah.
It goes to, but you have to sort of throw your hat in and sort of throw your vision at it and hope that they get excited. And so when that came, I was like, of course, after Wild Bill, it was all sort of like gangster stuff, and the lock, stock, and all of that. I mean, I was like, and that was what I wanted to do with Wild Bill, was trying to move away from that. Wild Bills are like a conscious effort to not just fall into the same tropes of what the London gangster movies are. That's why it's about family.
Yeah.
It's not about drugs or anything else. It's about a bloke and his kids. And so then when the musical came, I was like, right, I'm going to do a musical because...
Yeah.
And it's about Scotland as well. And it's about this Scottish family. So I just thought it was so different and far removed. And I love musicals. I do like them. I love old Gene Kelly films,
Yeah. One thing, sorry, just going back to Wild Bill. Maybe I'm making too much of a leap. The bit when he's stood outside the shop with the pole, with the sign, for £3 an hour. Is that you? That kind of just ties in with what you were saying about going back and doing plays in front of 40 people and stuff for a few quid.
It was very important that the character learnt to be humble.
Yeah.
He learnt to understand that, if you want something enough and you want it in the right way, you can't just fall back into what you did before.
Yeah.
And just...
There's no shortcuts.
There isn't. You can't... Yeah, you've either got to make a choice to change. You can't sit on two chairs at once. You sit on one or the other. And if you're sitting on, you choose that chair, it means you might have to start again. And that's what he does. He starts again, for very little money. But he's got to do it the right way. He can't let his kids go back into care.
Oh, it's such a good film.
That's his responsibility.
Listen, I'm going to let you go. But very quickly, of course, the Eddie the Eagle Edwards film.
Yes.
That must have been fun.
Yeah, it was huge. Yeah, it was great. I got to work with an old mate of mine, producer Matt Vaughan, who produced Lock Stock back in the day. And did Kick-Ass and Stardust. He directed those. Kick-Ass.
You mean Kick-Ass?
Kick-Ass, yeah. Kick-Ass, I call it. But he directed those. He's an old friend.
Yeah.
And he brought me the script and said, look, I think this guy Taron should play Eddie the Eagle. And I was like, really? He's a bit good looking, because Eddie wasn't really that much.
Yeah, I've worked with Eddie. Yeah. He's a unique look.
He's a unique look, and Taron looks like a movie star.
Yeah.
But then I started working with him. We worked together, and he put on the glasses and started pulling a few faces, and I was like, okay, maybe this could work. And then he said, look, I've been talking to Hugh Jackman. I was like, really? Okay, I'm really interested in this. And then I met Eddie, and I was like, wow, he's quite... You know what did it for me? Is I saw Eddie on Splash.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'd never really thought about it before. And I was like, look at this guy's attitude.
Yeah.
Look at him win.
Yeah.
He's got an Olympic attitude. And that's what sort of flipped it for me. It was like, oh, he's an Olympian. And that's different.
Because when he was Eddie the Eagle, he was completely serious about it.
Yeah,
he was determined.
Absolutely. But you've got, being an Olympian's not a half measures thing. It's like... And that I respected, and then I thought, okay, Andy has a family. We have to be respectful of that. And so then I approached it in a very different way, and I hopefully made a film that's kind of, it smiles with him and it has a laugh at him, but at the same time it treats him with a bit of.
What are you working on next? You got a film in the works now?
Something for next year.
Is it top secret?
It is.
Oh, come on, Dex. You were 10 minutes late. Come on.
I know. I'd love to be able to give you some bit of. It might involve ghosts.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It might involve ghosts.
It's not Ghostbusters 2, is it?
It's not Ghostbusters 2. No, I'm not a those heady guy.
In that case, I'm not interested.
But no. It's not a part 2. It's an original idea.
Oh wow! Fantastic.
About a high school.
Look at you. You're one of those people that wants to say
I
more.
so want to say.
Look at you.
I'm the worst for it. I'm getting so much trouble.
I'm not going to push you.
Yeah.
Dexter, listen, thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for not giving me a smack when I was staring at you at traffic lights.
It's never too late. Good job the tea was nice.
Thank you for being a good sport on Twitter. And anytime you want to come in and plug stuff.
I appreciate people liking the film, and I appreciate you.
Thank you. 03444 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Well, I said that privately to my team, but I'll say it publicly to you, dear listener. Wasn't he the nicest? What a nice man. I'm surprised Tony didn't phone in. At Dex Fletch, if you want to speak to him. And genuinely, well, I didn't want to dwell on it too much because it's really easy to dwell on the kind of the dark side and the downside and stuff. But genuinely, what an inspiration to have been working and been famous and made a lot of money, and then to end up living in a car and to go back to basics and start again. And it's true, just because you're out of work and you're skint and you live in a car, it doesn't stop you being famous. Doesn't stop you being famous. So people still recognise you even when you're down on your arse. And to have the humility to go back and start from scratch and do unpaid work, probably a little bit of profit share, a few quid here and there, playing to audiences of 40 people, 50, 60 people, and to then make a success a second time around, that's incredible, isn't it? That's absolutely incredible. And to be a nice bloke with a sense of humour. And to be 50? What the hell? When did that happen? When did we all get so old? And he has got a really good sense of humour, because it's funny that he's right. It's funny that he spotted me. It was round the back of Sainsbury, of Selfridges. How funny he spotted me. I thought I was being dead subtle. But obviously I wasn't. And he has got a sense of humour, because when I approached him on Twitter, I mentioned him on Twitter, he got right back and we exchanged some very, I'll be honest, some very rude private messages. And then he phoned me up today, and I was in bed. I didn't get up till didn't get up till 4:30. I didn't wake up until about 1:30 too. And I phoned him up and said, Dex, I'm still in bed. He said, I don't want to know that. What a nice bloke. And Wild Bill is an absolute joy. I've not seen the other two films, but I'm gonna put them on my list of films to watch, because he's a clever lad. He's a clever lad, Dexter Fletcher. Onwards and upwards with the show. 0344 499 1000. Now, we were going to do a mean show today, but I don't think I can do it after speaking to Dexter. So can we do it tomorrow? Can we be mean tomorrow? Because I want to be mean. And when I say mean, I mean, I tell you what we'll do. We'll have a think. We need to get a couple of guests on for tomorrow's show. This is what we'll do. We'll do the mean show tomorrow, okay? And when I say mean, I mean the usual kind of obnoxious stuff that when you turn on speech-based radio, you get your Julie Hartley-Brewers, your Katie Hopkins, that kind of vibe. So, Kath, have a little think about guests we can get for tomorrow. I'd like to destroy a Liberal, please, so we can find... I'm being very vague here, because I don't quite know if I can pull it off. I want to I want to humiliate a Liberal live on air. And if we can get, like a pro-Brexit and an anti-Brexit, can we get them on together and have a good old argument? And I'll be on the side of the pro-Brexit, and we'll destroy the Bramona together. Yes, I do want you to stitch people up, yes. Let's get a pro-Brexit and a Bramona on, and me and the Brexiteer will take the Bramona down to a little place I like to call London Town, because we don't have no Chinese there. So we'll do that tomorrow. I don't know if I can pull off a full-on mean show. I mean, there's a great story in the paper. There's Nigel, we'll come to you in a minute, I promise. There's There's a great story. There's several great stories in the paper today that would have made it a little bit easier. Oh, where is it? Hang on a minute. I've written it down. I've written it down in the wrong paper. Hang on. There's a great story about Tony Christie. Tony Christie. National... Is he British, Tony Christie? Yeah. National treasure. Tony Christie. Where is it? I've written it down in the wrong paper. Hang on a second. Oh, flipping heck. I wrote it... There we go. Here we go. Maybe it's in the mail. Here we go. If I was doing a mean show, this is great. Amarillo singer Tony Christie's terror as hooded migrants ambush his tour bus in Dunkirk. Now, this has to stop. OK? These bloody migrants... I can sort of do it. I think I can do it. These bloody migrants, right, trying to get into this country are now attacking Tony Christie, a national treasure. He's 73 years old. Let's read on. Singer Tony Christie last night described his terror. Outrageous. And that's what they do. They terrorise. Literally, in the case of Muslim extremists, and metaphorically, in the case of the immigrants trying to come over here. Terror after his band were ambushed on their tour bus by crowbar-wielding migrants trying to get to Britain to get benefits and to steal jobs from you. No doubt one of these foreigners, these, what do they call them? Economic refugees, economic migrants. No doubt one of these people wants to steal Tony Christie's job. I'm sorry, buddy. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. There's only one Tony Christie. He's white. He's British. He's probably a Christian. The 73-year-old and his wife Sue, 68, were asleep on the jumbo cruiser vehicle heading home through France when a gang... Hang on a minute, he was asleep when it happened. It weakens my argument slightly, as he said it was terrified. Anyway, maybe they woke up mid-attack. When the gang of 5 hooded migrants surrounded their driver as he filled up at a petrol station in Dunkirk. As the driver, Gareth Owen, was distracted by the gang, another migrant broke into the trailer carrying stage equipment. When the gang dispersed, Christie's tour manager, Paul Smith, opened up the trailer and found the stowaway, who bolted out and threatened to kill him with a crowbar before finally fleeing into the night. In the melee, one of the guitarist fell as he rushed out of the coach and broke his wrist. Unbelievable. Now, the thing is, guys, these people, they'll try and break into Tony Christie's tour bus. If they'd got into Tony Christie's tour bus, they would probably have killed him, done all manner of unspeakable things to his body, and then driven over here and claimed benefits. And they'd get... I don't know if you're waiting for council housing. These people would have got that council housing before you. They would have jumped ahead of you in the queue, despite the fact they've killed Tony Christie. I can do it. I think I can pull it off. We'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow. Oh, don't get me started on British celebrity Ian Brady as well. We'll do it tomorrow. I think I can do it. There's enough anger within me. There's enough anger within me, Nigel, that I think I can pull this off.
Oh, hi, Ian.
The flipping.
How you doing?
I'm all right, Nigel.
Yeah.
How's your downstairs?
Do you mean Tony Christie?
Yes, Tony Christie's been murdered by migrants. He hasn't.
He hasn't, but he nearly did.
He nearly got murdered by migrants.
Oh, that's terrible.
Tony Christie nearly got murdered by migrants.
Was he going on tour?
Yes, mate. In Europe.
I didn't see it in the papers. Was it in the papers?
It's in. Have you read today's papers?
No, I haven't read the paper today yet.
Well, that's why.
I didn't know.
That's why you didn't see it in the papers, because it was in the papers today. Fun times. Fun times.
He hasn't been murdered, has he?
He was nearly murdered by migrants.
No, I can't believe it.
Unbelievable.
No. You're not joking, are you?
Yeah, he was nearly murdered by migrants.
Nearly murdered.
Nearly. Sorry, did I not say that word loud enough?
No.
Tony Christie was
but he
murdered.
could have been, couldn't he?
He could very well have been. He's lucky he got away. He's lucky he got away completely untouched and unscathed.
They do claim benefits quicker than we can get them sometimes when they come over, don't they? Migrants?
What, rock singers?
No, migrants.
They do. They do. Of course they do. No, have you been to the doctor's surgery recently?
Yeah, it's full of migrants.
Yeah, isn't it? You can't get an appointment. Why is that? Because of Islamic terrorists.
Yeah, if you're trying to get a council house and you're English, you can't get one.
No, you're right. They are not giving council houses to English people anymore.
No,
only, Nigel, they're only giving council houses to Muslim terrorists.
A friend of mine who waited 5 years to get a council house, and he said that the migrants got in before he did.
Yep. Does he live? Is he married?
He lived in Maidstone. No, he was single.
Got kids?
No, they're all grown up.
Yeah, and so where was he living at the time?
Well, he was homeless in Maidstone, and now he's got a council house eventually after 5 years.
But after the Islamic terrorists? Yeah, outrageous.
It's terrible.
It's awful.
And he's English. I mean, in your own place, you should get a house quicker.
White fella? Is he white?
Yes, white.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
It really does. We're going to hell in a handcart, Nigel.
I did ring up about I saw the videos on YouTube about the 30th do. I forgot what I was going to say. The 30th do, the videos.
The 30th do?
You know the one in the pub?
The 30th do?
The something ring. The something ring.
The something ring.
The talent ring.
The talent ring, yes.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Nigel, we're going to go to a break. Stay there. We'll come to you after this, only because nobody else has called in. Tony Christie was nearly murdered by migrants, and they're not giving flats to white people, only to Islamic terrorists. I think I can do it. Tomorrow. We'll do it. We'll do a hate-filled show. I think I can pull this off. I really do. 0344 499 1000. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm doing my best
enough of that. Nigel.
That should be a number 1 for Christmas.
Well, it got to number 32 in the iTunes dance chart, and I know controversially, Nigel.
Yeah.
I have pulled it from iTunes.
You said earlier. Yeah,
I did say, and also, I've blocked you from messaging me on Facebook.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yes.
Yes, because I'm not a doctor.
No.
And also,
yes.
I have sent your cheque for £60 to you today.
Oh, thank you very much.
You're very Merry Christmas.
Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas.
It'll take a while to get here because
the post.
The post might. They're going on strike, by the way, aren't they?
No, they're not, are they?
Yes, another week's strike.
Oh, what about Christmas? They've cancelled Christmas.
It happens at Christmas.
It's almost as if they're too lazy.
They do it on purpose.
Yeah, it's almost as if they do it on purpose.
Yeah. I was going to say, do you play that record very often on the show? That one you've just played, Lindsay Lohan?
No, I haven't played it for ages.
Oh. But you did in this. We've played it now, haven't you?
I played it then, yeah. We don't get any money for that.
No.
No.
I like that one, but I think they're both good, really. The Miley Cyrus one's good as well. I enjoyed those videos that Dan and the other guy put together.
Dan and the other guy gave
name?
The other guy gave me
the one who produced the videos.
Yeah, the other guy gave me a whole tin of minty biscuits yesterday. And do you know what I did when I got home from Performance Ring last night?
Yeah.
I ate them all. And I felt sick.
Well, you shouldn't have eaten them all. Then.
Now you tell me!
The Wurzel Gummidge thing I haven't heard yet. You've made up a song and you sing it over the radio. The Wurzel Gummidge. Aunt Sally, you know, with Aunt Sally in. The old series.
Yeah, give me a bit more, Nige.
Well, I've made up a jingle about Aunt Sally, and it goes like this. Aunt Sally, I'm coming down the road to do it again. Aunt Sally, I'm doing my garden again. That's the sort of rhythm.
Well, so it was identical to the rhythm of all of your other songs.
But I haven't heard yours yet, have I?
Well, I've not read one. Where is this rumour got around? I've written an Aunt Sally song.
It was someone.
If I were to make up an Aunt Sally song now, it would be a million times better than that.
No, it wasn't an Aunt Sally song. It was a Wurzel Gummidge song.
Yours was an Aunt Sally song.
No, that's the one. No, I made that one up. But there's a word. Russ Caldell wanted me to make one up about Wurzel Gummidge.
Well, go on then.
But I can't at the moment. I haven't been thinking about that one. But you've made one up, haven't you?
No.
Oh, no. He's asked me to make one up, so I've got to think about doing that maybe for next week then.
Has he commissioned you to write a Wurzel Gummidge song?
Well, he wrote some words down for me, but they were quite rude words to put in. I don't really want to do rude words.
No, you don't want to go blue, Nigel. Keep it above the waist.
Christmas, because the other two songs were quite blue, weren't they?
You can't do a rude song, not when we're thinking of baby Jesus, or as my boys call him, Tiny Jesus.
Silent night, holy night. All is calm, all is bright.
They say, can't do mucky songs. The next line's about everyone standing round a virgin.
Yeah, I know. The song I like best is Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. But the chestnuts could be something rude, couldn't they?
Your balls, your testicles.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, why would you put your testicles in a fire, Nigel? That's not going to help the problem you mentioned to me about.
No. But I've got to go to the doctors about what I was talking to you about. I haven't had a blood test yet.
If you are roasting your testicles, that would explain the delicate matter you mentioned to me in confidence.
No, my testicles are all right.
Okay,
at the moment.
but they're not.
I need to get a blood test, don't I?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Why don't you ask? Why don't you put it out to the listeners what your problem was?
No, rather it's private.
Okay. Why did you tell me? Why did you tell me about it?
On private, because I was worried about it.
Well, I know. Go and see a doctor. I'm a bloke who used to be on the telly in the late 90s. I've my medical licence, sadly, and I'm still going to fight this. My medical licence was revoked over a series of what I thought were hilarious blunders. The families involved didn't. So at the moment, I'm not able to give medical advice. Hey, Nigel, do me a favour.
Yeah.
Say hello to Ken.
Hello, Ken.
Good evening, Nigel. I haven't heard you for years and years.
Was you on Talk Sport before?
Yes, I used to be on Talk Sport. You used to talk with James Swale.
Oh, right, yeah.
How are you keeping, young man? How are you doing? You keeping okay?
Not too bad, Ken.
Well, don't forget this Christmas that Jesus is concerned about you, Nigel. Don't forget God.
Yes, I do pray twice a day.
To Jesus?
Yes.
Or to the other one, the dark one.
I pray to God twice a day.
Which God, though, Nigel? Our God or their God?
The God in the sky.
Well, which one, Nigel? Is it how many arms has he got?
It's just something you think might work.
How many arms has the God you're praying to got?
Well, it's a human being, 2 arms.
Hang on, you're praying to a human being. Ken, that's not right. You can't be praying to a human being. That's a false idol.
Well, like Jesus...
Nigel's a sinner.
Hello, Ian. Good evening, Ian. Listen, we're all sinners. Listen, at Christmas time, which this country is sadly
At Christmas time, I think, because we're all sinners, it's probably best to get really stuck into some good sin.
Are you a sinner, Ian?
Oh, yeah, sinning all the time.
What do you do?
I made love to a trombone recently. Imagine the sin involved there.
Yeah.
Terrible.
And animals as well. Some people make love to animals.
Whoa, dude! Where did that come from?
Ian,
I read it in the paper.
Ian, there's good news for every sinner. The good news is that Jesus Christ was born...
Ken, there's good news for every listener to this show.
Yeah, the more the better, really.
Shall I tell you what it is, Ken? Shall I tell you what the good news is, Ken?
The good news...
I'm cutting you off because you're boring.
Oh, dear.
He was boring.
Can I sing a Christmas song quickly, then?
You just sang 2. One of them was about your testicles being on fire.
No, properly. Do it properly this time.
OK, Nigel, over to you.
Starts roasting on an open fire properly.
Here we go.
I'll try and cut it down as short as I can.
I tell you what, you do the whole song, because it is Christmas.
Yes, I will do the whole song if you don't cut me off.
Oh!
OK, then.
Yeah.
Right, here we go, then.
Yep.
Chestnuts roasting on an open fire, and Jack Frost nipping at your nose, and Yuletide carols being sung by a choir, and folks dressed up as Eskimos.
Racist.
Everybody knows some turkey and some mistletoe help to make the seasons bright. And tiny tots with their eyes of the glow will find it hard to sleep tonight. They know that Santa's on his way. He's loaded lots of toys and goodies on his sleigh. And every mother child is gonna cry.
Peace. 0344 499 1000. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
Late Night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
Some people asking, how can you make love to a trombone? I use the mouthpiece. I'm embarrassed to... So, what? No? Too much? Too much? 03 44 499 1000 is the telephone number. Late Nights with Iain Lee on Talk Radio. Hang on a second. Hello, I'm from New Zealand. Hello, this is Ed speaking. I'm from New Zealand. Let me just practice. Hello, this is Ed. Hello, this is Ed. Hello, Talk Radio, Ed speaking. Right, okay. Hello, Talk Radio, Ed speaking.
Hello, Ian. It's Ken again. Did you cut me off there?
This is Ed speaking. Would you like to speak to Ian?
Hello? Hello? Who's speaking?
This is Ed speaking. You've called Talk Radio. This is Ed. Would you like to go through on the air to Ian?
Yes, sir, because I'd like to speak about the problem with Islamic terrorism. I thought he said he'd allow me to do that tonight.
Yeah, Ian's bottled out of that, and he's decided he's going to do the Islamic terrorism threat tomorrow show.
Oh, tomorrow's show.
So why don't you give him a call tomorrow, and we can talk about the Muslims.
Okay then, Ian. Are you Ed?
This is Ed speaking.
Ed, where are you from, Sydney?
No, mate, I'm from New Zealand. I'm a Kiwi. I like fish and chips. I love getting a good nosh up of fish and chips. Love getting my face dirty.
You have yourself a good night, Ian, and I hope
he saw through that. Come on, Ed. That was spot on.
Not too bad. You're getting a little bit close to Australian there.
Well,
it's better than last effort, which was a bit South African.
Thank you. It's
getting there.
I can take criticism constructively, which that was. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But also, I'm talent. You're a knob twiddler. Don't ever talk to me again. Kath,
okay.
Don't even let him look at me. Let's go. Flipping heck. Look, they're all coming out of the woodwork today. It's Jessica.
Hello, Ian.
Sorry, are you crying?
No, I mean, I should be, really. I mean, after that vocal rendition from Nigel there, who wouldn't be in tears?
Well, anybody who has a keen sense of vague understanding of music would be upset. But Nigel's an all right singer. You know, when he does the ballads, he's an all right singer. He's just a wacko.
I think the problem is this: that the problem with Nigel.
Yes.
Is this?
Go.
That up until about 2 weeks ago, I thought it was quite funny. I mean, obviously mental, like as in funny mental.
Yes.
And then there was that particular call and that particular remark and that particular thing that you know, once you've heard it, you can't unhear it.
Is this are you talking about when I asked him what date Christmas was and he didn't know? Yeah. And that is partly why I deleted the tracks from iTunes. They may still be on there. They'll be taken off this week. But also because he does send me quite intimate medical problems. And because also he's driving me nuts asking for this money that I won't get for months and months and months. So I've sent him a cheque for his money. We're done. We're finished. We're out of here. The band has split up. I'm sorry. But Nigel, Nigel is what Nigel is. And maybe, Jessica, maybe I allow some of the callers to get too close to me.
Maybe. I think he thinks he found a friend.
Yes.
I mean, that other guy's obviously got a friend in Jesus, and I think Nigel has found you as a bit of a kind of outlet for his singing ability. Yeah. And I guess it makes him happy, and it makes us happy. And that one tonight was very, very good. It was good. It was nice. It was Christmassy. It was like the vocal equivalent of, I don't know, turning on your late-night loser lights or something.
Oh.
But he obviously has got... some problems, but Would you send him through to boot camp? Would I send him through to boot camp? I would. I would send him through to boot camp, where he would be surely, I don't know how they do this thing, but surely assessed by somebody at some point that goes, you know what, it is funny, but it's not that funny when it's not really funny. You know what I mean? This is why I can't watch The X Factor, because I used to like The X Factor, but I only used to like the first couple of rounds, and then it dawned on me after a couple of years, oh, hang on, these people are actually mentally ill, and we're all that's the joke is they are mentally ill people that have been tricked into by producers and runners and people lower down the TV food chain into thinking they might actually have a shot when it's a freak show. Well, I mean, I think it's become a little bit more commercialised than that. I mean, Honey G, I mean, I didn't even watch that final last night because I was just tired of it. But that Honey G thing, what a brilliant phenomena. I mean, you know, she is going to be... Who knew Honey G at the start of the year? Honey G at the end of the year? I literally, honestly, this isn't any word of a lie. I haven't seen any of the X Factor for about 10 years. The only bit I saw was about 3 weeks ago when Little Mix were on, and their pants were up their bum. And I thought, oh gosh, that's a little bit... But even without having seen the TV show, I know who Honey G is. And you're right, she'll have a great year. She'll sell a couple of records, she'll do a few tours, and then she'll go in the Big Brother house. Beautiful. Do you know what? And I mean, for me, it's an interesting marketing kind of brand of that woman, because I did expect at some point, like about a month ago, for her to say, right, okay, so yeah, it's an act. It's like a core, like she should be calling your show like a comedy caller. She's like a comedy X Factor, surely. Yeah. But then it turned out that probably she wasn't. And apparently, because I watched a little bit of it on Saturday, and then it was on again on Sunday or something, wasn't it? On Saturday, they gave her own song. She sang a song, like a medley.
And she got booted out a couple of weeks ago, did she?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
But they obviously thought, right, the way that we kind of rock Wembley on Saturday night, and obviously add a couple more zeros to the already huge row of zeros that are just ka-chinging up. I mean, Simon Cowell must be sitting there going ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching.
Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching.
She was amazing. It was brilliant.
It does sound like, Jessica,
I don't know.
it does sound like you've watched quite a lot of The X Factor.
No, do you know what I do though? I watch it on I watch it like on the iPad. You know, I mean, it's like you see the little links and you think, well, I will just watch. Yeah. It's like that Ed Balls Gangnam style dance. I've seen it about 5 times.
Did Ed Balls do Gangnam style?
It was just you're not going to pretend to me that you have not seen that.
No, honestly, Jessica, I haven't seen it, and I swear to you on my life, I hadn't seen it. I don't really.
That's your homework for the night.
Oh
there
God,
you go.
no! I don't really. The only bit of that I saw was when he dropped that woman and he caught her by the fanny, and he caught her, that. I saw that bit.
It's almost. I don't know. It's almost gallant.
You wait. In about 40 years' time, he'll be hauled up in court for that. Yeah. I don't really watch TV anymore, Jessica.
I've started to watch a little bit of TV. I have got a TV, and this year is the first time I've ever bought a TV licence.
Oh.
I know. Just Google Ed Balls Gangnam Style. No. It's safe for work.
Okay.
Well, no, I don't know, really. But it's just a thing of beauty, and it's one of those things that you watch it and you think, okay, all right, fair enough. He's got some balls, you know, and it's the same with, and Honey G out of the X Factor, and I don't know what it says, the girl that won the I'm a Celebrity. I mean, look at that. The girl that won I'm a Celebrity got famous by watching TV, right? By watching I'm a Celebrity.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
But good for her. Good for her. You know,
I like her.
all these people.
I think she's funny.
Yeah, all these. Again, I've not seen her, but all these people knocking her because, well, she's not a celebrity. Well, the producers thought she was a big enough draw. People voted for her. The definition of a celebrity has changed massively.
Absolutely.
And I'm kind of cool with that. You know, before it used to be, it was movie stars and it was actors and it was rock stars, and now it's people, you know, if people recognise you from being on the telly, watching a TV programme, then you're a celebrity.
Do you know what? It's like Nigel is a celebrity. No, he's look what you've done for him. You put him in the iTunes chart.
Yeah, number 32 in the dance chart.
You did that for Nigel. He's become like a radio celebrity. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
It's like, you know.
And Nigel's one of those overnight successes. Someone has just tweeted me.
One hit wonder. I didn't really think that other song was catchy.
Oh.
It didn't have a catchy kind of...
Noah said it's
like Lindsay Lohan.
It's like stepping back in time. I remember the same two guys, referring to Holy Ken and Nigel, calling up the James Whale show over 10 years ago with the exact same act. Well, James has been doing the same act for 20 years or so, why shouldn't Nigel and Ken?
Do you know what? I never really listened to James Whale, to be honest.
No, he's overrated.
No, well, I mean, I think he was in Big Brother, wasn't he? You see, look, I know all these little... I don't even know how I know these things.
Because you watch a lot of telly and read a lot of crap and listen to Nick Abbott.
No, do you know what? I don't even listen to Nick Abbott anymore. I haven't listened to Nick Abbott since July.
Oh, you got bored of the Trump
I just got a bit bored of Nick Abbott. I think he's a bit bored of himself at the moment, so once he kind of... Maybe he'll sort of have a good new year. He's unusually forever over.
I think Nick Abbott is one of the greatest broadcasters of all time. But you know, and he's found what works for him within that environment, within the LBC framework, which is good.
Something? I think that it's like Clive Bull. If you were using those words to describe Clive Bull, they would apply, and I would also agree.
Yeah.
Because I think Clive can pay, you know, he's playing that corporate game. I used to call Clive Bull up and say things like, Clive, I saw a seal in the Thames when I was coming into work today, and that's all it would take to get through, you know, to get on.
Clive's a genius.
Pub radio.
Clive is a genius, and I say this without any hint of irony. I think Clive is the greatest radio broadcaster working in this country, and one of the best in the world, because he can do anything. He can do what they want him to do now. He could do the nonsense that I used to do. He can do absolutely anything, and I've got so much love and respect for Clive Bull.
I love Clive Bull so much. I mean, I must have, like, at one point, this must be about 7 years ago, perhaps, when I first started calling you.
Yeah.
I remember my very first call to Clive Ball because I used to work this night shift down in Canary Wharf, and we had nothing to do most of the night, and we would just call the radio, and it would just be like, oh, do you know what, I'm just going to sort of go on the radio, and there was no sort of agenda or even a topic.
Well, that's what this show is now. He said trying to steer it back to this station because his bosses get itchy when he talks about the other place too much. That's what this show is. You know, what I'm trying to do is do a phone-in show where it's not about anything and people can call in about nothing.
Well, I think that I've been listening to the show, and I like the show very, very much.
But?
I started watching the show a little bit on the Periscope. I didn't like that so much.
You didn't have to do it. It wasn't compulsory.
I know.
No?
So I did watch that performance in Periscope last night. Oh, my God.
Oh. Is that a good OMG or a bad OMG?
Well, first of all, that woman that sang those songs, the blonde woman.
Portia, yeah. What a voice! She was dead nervous because she hasn't done it since she had her kids. She said her boy's 5 years old and she hasn't done it since then, and she was brilliant.
She was amazing.
Wasn't
I
she
don't know what it
just?
was like.
Yeah.
I would imagine that was it quite a small place that you were in?
Yeah, there's about 100 people there.
Well, it looked amazing. She sounded amazing.
Yeah.
And you could tell it really mattered to her, and I thought, you know, it looked like it was a very supportive audience, a bit rowdy, but, you know, but she was amazing.
Yeah.
The comedian guy that made up the funny song about whatever, Mr.
Oh, Mr. Bum, yeah, Ross Lee. Yeah, he was good, wasn't
He was very good. I'd never seen him before.
he? Yeah.
And who else? There was something else as well.
Did you see the guy eating the custard?
Oh, do you know what? I didn't like that bit.
Oh. Well, that was... never mind. Jessica, I've got to move on. Always nice to talk to you. I'll speak to you in about another 6 months. 0344 499 1... Only because she calls in about every 6 months. That's not an instruction not to call me. Visit you. Call tomorrow if you want. Tomorrow's the mean show. We're going to do the mean show tomorrow. 0344 499 1000. John, Rob, stay there. Come to you after this.
Unmissable late night radio with the original king of unconventional conversation.
Make contact with Iain.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you can. I did another... it's about we were talking then about Performance Ring, which was last night. If you came to it, thank you very much indeed. Unless you were the two people that were talking really, really loudly at the front, or if you were the two blokes who were talking really, really loudly at the back. If you were either of those couples... I'd kind of think that an evening out isn't for you. The people at the front left halfway through, and I was really close. They were getting louder and louder as the acts were going on, and I knew we were coming to the last act of the first half. A brilliant genius called Nathan Persad, who you've got to check out. Just absolutely wonderful. And I knew that we were coming. Had there been another act on after that, I was dreading it. But as hosts of the show, it's mine and Catherine's responsibility and it's kind of my responsibility because you never know if you're going to get a wallop. It's the host's responsibility to go up and go, could you just keep the noise down? But I also knew that she was absolutely steaming drunk. So, but they went during the interval, and then there were some blokes talking at the back. Maybe I should have gone out a word. I don't know. But if you came, thank you. It was a mixed bag. We had a young lad called Harry who never performed on stage before, and he ate custard and read jokes. And his comic timing when he got the third packet of custard out was spot on. It was like Andy Kaufman. It was watching a young Andy Kaufman. It was brilliant. I told him to go further with it. I said, if you ever do it again, go further with it. Enjoy the silences. Stare the audience down. Own it. Portia, who we mentioned, was singing, and she hadn't sung for years and years. And she was dead nervous and was absolutely brilliant. And I don't know... Most of the acts, I don't know what they're going to be like. They send me an email saying I want to do this, this and this, and I go, all right. There were a couple of acts I knew. Nathan I knew because I'd seen him before, and Ross I knew because I'd seen him years ago, but I didn't know what he was going to do. Had I seen any of the... Thomas Walsh, yeah, kind of. But I hadn't seen any of the others. And it was a thoroughly entertaining evening. We're doing one more in February. One more on. I don't know what the date is. There's only 6 tickets left. It'll sell out. If you know where to go for tickets. One more, and then we're going to stop doing it for at least a couple of months. So there won't be any in March. There may be one in April, but probably closer to May, June. I would have thought. I'm saying this out loud. I don't know. Doing the maths, because we've got a couple of other things that we want to do, and also I don't want to do it. I want it to kind of retain its specialness. It's a very special evening, and I just worry that if we do it too often, it will lose a little bit of the magic. Does that make sense? No, not really. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, but by the way, I could murder a cup of tea, so I don't normally ask, but I'm gasping for a cup of tea. I can't find the ticket link. But anyway, there's other stuff going on, and we might be doing a show in Birmingham at some point, and all kinds of bits and pieces are happening. John!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 John.
How are we? Me too.
Yeah.
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 I saw your Mayday tweet go out.
What was my Mayday tweet?
About who you've got lined up and calling.
I did tweet. We've got Nigel from Maidstone and Holy Ken as our only 2 callers. It is like the 90s never happened, you know.
It struck me as a bit of a duress call.
Yeah, it's they're harmless and they're fun. But do you know what, John? I was kind of dreading coming in today. I'm so glad we had Dexter coming in at the start of the show, because it just gave me a bit of a boost. It's been hard work today. I didn't wake up until about half 2, and then I just stayed in bed until about half 4. It was ridiculous.
I wish I could have done that. I don't know. I was supposed to go into London to meet my friend at lunchtime, and then they rang up and said, "Could we do 3?" And I geared myself up and got myself ready in my head to go to London and to go out. And I go, "Well, we're not meeting till 3." And then I get there and I'm waiting at the hotel for them to come down, and then it's another hour because her mum needs to have a sleep. And I was just spiralling in my head, going, They've set me up. They're not even here.
Yeah,
and they don't want to meet me. And they were there and they were fine. And I just conflate things in my head, and I just wind myself up. And you
catastrophize.
That's literally it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's a common thing. I do catastrophize a bit, because I do worry. I'm really worrying about what my kids are going to be like when they're teenagers. I'm really worrying about it a lot, you know. So I don't I tend not to catastrophize about this week, you know, but I'm catastrophizing 10, 15, 20 years down the line. I was in Costa today and I saw this lad come in, and he had a sheath. He had a load of CVs, and he was trying to get a job in Costa, and I just thought, oh God, what are my boys going to be like when they're trying to get jobs and stuff, and what jobs will be available? There won't be any jobs available, and I'll be old, and then I'm going to die, and I won't be able to leave them any money, and it's going to be awful, and they're going to have miserable lives like I have a miserable life, and it's all my fault. So that's where my head went today, John. That's where I was today. I was catastrophizing quite badly.
I mean, to give you an insight into my brain, and that you can't screw your kids up too much. My father was an officer on a Royal Navy submarine for 36 years.
Oh, blimey.
That was a long shift.
Hey, he must have been tired.
Yeah. And he's good in a crisis. Yeah. He's very, very good in a crisis. He's the one you want around.
Yeah.
His dad died, and we had everything sewn up and dealt with in 6 hours.
Wow.
You know, funeral books, everything. The other week, the guy fitting his new kitchen said, "I'm really sorry, we can't get the handles for the drawers until next week, but we've got these temporary ones."
Yeah.
And he threw them out of the house, and you can go F yourself, and you can go and do this. And he explodes everything. He just flies off the hand at the smallest thing.
Yeah.
But the man was World War III comes around, he's the one you want driving the boat. And I think I'm reasonably okay coming from a boat like that.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't worry too much, but I don't know. I listen to what you talk about, and it's the conflating, it's catastrophizing. I've never heard it said that before. And I just wind myself up. But the other thing I want to say about...
Yes.
I came up to that, so I was up in London today with my friend. She's come over from America.
Yeah.
Brought her mother, who's never left America before.
Wow.
Who's in her 60s. And
exciting.
I have not taken someone around London for the first time in about 10 years. And it's amazing. Like, you forget how incredible London is and how much we take for granted up there, and how much you go, oh, can I be bothered to get on the train today?
Yeah.
Or can I be bothered to drive in? Or do you know what? We'll just stay in. And it really, like, her wide-eyed optimism at 62, I think she was.
Yeah.
It was so refreshing. It was so lovely. Like, I was really in a spiral today. I was getting to that 2 minutes. I'm sure you've had it. 2 minutes before she came down and said, no, I'm going to go home. She's not here. I'm not going to meet them.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I grimmed it out. And, yeah, I don't know, I feel a bit more human afterwards. I was walking back on the train, and you came into my mind, and that's why I went on the Twitter, and Kel Surprise, there you are. Someone can help.
I took a Japanese, I've been lucky enough to take a couple of Japanese friends around London. Not for the first time, I don't think. No, it wasn't the first time with Shinamix, but I took her on the London Eye for the first time. And it's kind of, you know, she'd done a lot of the touristy stuff the previous time she'd been to London. And I just said, oh, you must have done the London Eye. She went, oh, no, I've never done London Eye. And it was nighttime and it was brilliant. And we went up on the London Eye and it is, you know, London is an amazing city. It's horrible and it's nasty and it's expensive and blah, 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 blah. But when you're looking at it through a foreigner's eyes, it's amazing. It's like New York. New York is you know, it's kind of, I think, very similar to London. But when you go there as an English person, it's absolutely astounding, you know, and all these major cities are. And London, I live in Windsor, and the number of times I've been by the train station where people come from Waterloo to Windsor, and tourists come out. And when you come out, you can see Windsor Castle straight away. It's up there on the left. And the number of times people come out and go and are overwhelmed by being able to see Windsor Castle, which I see every single day. I see it every single day, and the boys have a joke. Is she in today? Yep, she's in. You know, if the standard's flying, she's in. And I had this great American couple once. The train station said, where is Windsor Castle? I said, right, it's right up there, and they were blown away by it. Absolutely blown away. What a joy to be able to point these things out to people.
It was fabulous. Yeah. We went to Buckingham Palace and we stood outside Buckingham Palace for about 45 minutes because she'd never seen anything like it. And I get a taxi pass there, I don't know, twice a week, and you just go, and it's there. Yeah. But she absolutely loved it, and it was just amazing to see somebody go through a new experience.
Where else did you take her? What was your top three treats in London?
We did the Sky Garden by Fenchurch Street.
So I don't know, I've not been there.
Which is, apart from anything, it's free to go up.
Oh.
It's not as high as the Shard.
Yeah.
But nothing is.
Yeah.
And there's loads of bars and cafes, but you just book a ticket just for the numbers.
Yeah.
Free to go up. That was amazing. I'd never done that either, so that was pretty cool.
Brilliant.
She saw St Paul's Cathedral.
Yep. Always
She's
good.
a massive Charles and Dale fan.
Yep.
So we did a bit of that. And then Buckingham Palace, and it was just absolutely phenomenal. And then we ended up in Five Guys of all places. She's come 8,000 miles across the Atlantic, and she demanded to go to Five Guys. So
did you enter Five Guys tonight?
I did, and they entered me.
Well, there we go. Thank you very much indeed. You see? That's terrible. John, thank you, mate. I appreciate that. I'm glad you had a great day, and it's fun seeing London through the eyes of a tourist. 0344 499 1000 Talk Radio.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over.
Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Yes, Rob!
Hey up!
Hey up, Rob! I'm just turning off. I've got my phone's on vibrate, so I'm going to turn my phone off. How do you turn your phone? How do you turn the vibrate off your phone?
I know nothing about Apple goods.
The battery on this is knackered, right? And it's a fault with the iPhone 6S and maybe others. The latest update means every now and then my battery will say 18% and then it'll switch off. And you can't get it to go again until you charge it.
That's crap.
That is... I'm switching my phone off because I can't work out how to switch the buzzy buzz off. Hang on a minute. There we go.
Phone is off. That'll have to get sorted out later on. Bishy bashy boshy. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Rob.
Yay!
Yay!
I came last night.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
I thought it went well,
Yes.
but could have been better.
Oh.
So,
yeah. In what way better? Like funny?
Maybe a bit funnier. I think the abuse of you went over well.
Well, yes.
It's subject matter that everyone can relate to.
Yeah, it was, yeah, okay.
I think I've never been as nervous in my life.
You were shaking like a leaf. I could see it. I could see you shaking. I found it hilarious.
Because as I got up, I spilled my drink over myself.
Yeah, you idiot.
I know, that's shocking. But yeah, there was a couple of people just saying it wasn't periscoped, so...
No, unfortunately.
And a couple of people said, so I do apologise about that.
These things happen. I thought the gentlemen that came up and helped me were nice. Keith and the other gentleman, Dwayne or Dane was his name. I can't quite remember. Dane, that was it. Very nice gentleman. It was a good evening, all in all. A fun time was had by all.
It was, and that singer, is it Portia? I thought she was amazing.
She was good, yeah, Portia. She was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, very good indeed.
I don't like talented people. It annoys me. It annoys me because I'm jealous of people that can. Because I can carry a tune. I can carry a tune, but she could like proper wail, you know. And I can't wail so much now that I'm getting older.
We've been in the dance charts. It's all about the performance. It's not about the talent.
I did sing along on the way in to an instrumental version of Sloop John B, and I did all of the harmonies at the same time.
Yeah.
That was good. And I also sang along to Sweet Judy Blue Eyes by Crosby, Stills and Nash, and I thought, yeah, actually, the old voice... There's something there. There's something there.
Defo.
Who's that on the other line?
Hello?
What, me?
Who's that?
It's Keith.
Oh! It's Keith from last night. It's last night's Keith.
Hello, boys.
Hello, mate.
That's tricks.
Yeah, you know.
What?
I was following Nigel's lead. I've got a problem with my arse, so I thought I'd ring in and ask Iain.
Well, do you know what? That's a funny one, because I've got a bit of trouble with the old phalanx.
Right. Well, this is not a medical phone-in, guys. I told you, due to an unfortunate series of events and potential, ongoing legal investigations, I am unable to practice medicine anymore, so I can't help you with your phalanx or your arse.
I just think
but you were so understanding and delicate with it last time.
Well, that was then, big boy. This is now.
New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Health clinic with Iain Lee.
We could do that. We've still got two empty seats for the New Year's Eve show. If people want to come and join us, there's still 2 seats up for grabs.
Well, the thing is, Iain, if I claim one of those seats, can I have a cushion?
No. Flipping it. I mean, is this what we've resorted to? Really? This is. This
isn't what I phoned in about.
I'm a triple award winner. I've been sacked by the BBC twice in the last 12 months. I'm a broadcasting legend, and we've resorted to this.
And a man who does a lot of selfies, according to last night. But hey,
what have you called in about Keith?
I wondered if we could sing some carols.
Oh, there you go.
Why?
Just to lift the mood.
You know, I'm going to say it right. You know, Christmas carols, yeah.
I am aware of them. I'm an ex-chorister. I'm aware of them.
They're rubbish. They are rubbish. Name me. I tell you what, Rob. Name me one good Christmas carol.
I do like Silent Night.
Oh, it's miserable. Virgin.
Nigel back on here.
Right, Keith, the only good one. There's only one good one.
Go on.
Because it's
Away in the Manger?
No. It's miserable. The only good one is very, very up tempo, and it's got a nice little line in it.
Is it a carol or a song?
I'm trying to think. Oh, I'm confusing it.
Because I like "Come All You Faithful."
No, it's not. It's Good King Wenceslas looked out on the feast of Stephen, where the snow lay round about, deep and crisp and even. Brightly shone the night that light, all the stars was cruel, and a poor man gathering winter fuel.
Now, that's the one that I wanted to sing for you, because I found a really nice, Latin translation.
I like...
It's beautiful.
Deep and crisp and even, and...
Yeah.
Fuel.
May the pagans stand by me, if thou knowst it telling. Yonder peasant, who is he? Where and where 'tis dwelling? Tiny goodly hence, underneath the mountain, right against the forest eyes. Pythons hag me
I'll play a good one. Anyway, let me play a good one. Right, this is absolutely stunning. If I've got it on my iPod, I've got my iPod.
The thing with a carol is when you get to really bang out the descant.
Yeah, exactly. Bang out the descant. Hang on a minute. Let me find this. This is proper stunning. I've got so many versions of it. All right, have a listen to this. Oh. Here we go. Right, everyone be quiet. Right, have a listen. 92 seconds of pure bliss. Here we go.
Oh, classic.
Dios guardó el lobo de nuestra codera. Dios guardó el lobo de nuestra codera. Riu, riu, shiu, la guarda ribera. Dios guardó el lobo de nuestra codera. Dios guardó el lobo de nuestra codera. El lobo rabioso la quiso morder, mas Dios poderoso la supo defender. Quiso le hacer que no pudiese pecar, ya no original tu virgen no tuviera. Riu, riu, shiu, la guarda ribera. Dios guardó el lobo de nuestra codera. Dios guardó el lobo de nuestra codera. Esta que es nacido es el gran monarca, Cristo patriarca de carne vestido, ya nos redimido con cerrarse chiquito, aunque infinito, finito se hiciera. Riu, riu, shiu, la guarda ribera. Dios guardó el lobo de nuestra codera. Dios guardó el lobo de nuestra codera.
Come on, now now, but who is that singing?
E17.
Shut up, Keith.
The beginning of Say Now.
Is it those Shaolin monks?
It's the Monkeys. Imagine that. It's the Monkeys. It's the Monkeys doing that. Acapulco. Imagine that. That's why the Monkeys is the greatest band in the world, because they did that. They sang on their Christmas special. They didn't have any of their hits in it. They sang a 16th century Latin carol. Yay, Monkeys!
Pretentious.
What? Right, you've been cut off. Who was that? It was Keith, right. Rob, I'm going to cut you off.
Sell me arse.
There we go. And now we find ourselves, dear listener, for the first time this evening, without any callers, without anybody to go to, with nothing to talk about. So now would be an excellent time for you to call in, if you want to call in. I'm sorry if you've tuned in expecting the Nasty Show. We toyed with it about an hour ago. But because we had Dexter Fletcher in, and the show started off so celebratory, that we're gonna try and do the Nasty Show tomorrow. By nasty, I mean, that kind of the scare, you know, the right wing scaremongering, hate-filled shows of people like Hopkins and Brewer. You know, that kind of angry, we should all be scared we're going to be blown up and won't have any benefits because of the migrants. That kind of vibe. That kind of vibe. So tomorrow night, we'll be celebrating the magic of Brexiteers, and we'll be pointing and laughing at the Bramonas as they sit in their corner crying. We'll be discussing the serious threat that we all face from Islamic terrorism, and also the encroaching Sharia law courts that are actually threatening all of our rights. I nearly said human rights. Well, that's stupid, because, of course, we're anti-human rights. We'll be doing that tomorrow. 0344 499 1000. I think I can pull it off. And I think I can pull it off convincingly. But it's going to be tough. As long as Ken's going to call in and talk about Islamic terrorism. So that's that covered. Once we're in there, we'll be fine. Ray!
Good evening. Hip, hip, hip.
Thank you, Ray. What do you have for us?
You were talking about Silent Night being one of the most miserable carols.
Well, they're all pretty miserable, and that's one of them, yes.
Well, my favourite version of them all, I've got a clip of it here, is sung by the Chipmunks.
Oh.
Imagine those speeded up voices.
They're speeded up? That's how they do it? WTF!
Oh, yeah,
Spoiler alert!
They sung them at half speed and then double the speed.
Shut up, man! You're breaking my heart!
Oh, sorry to drop it upon you. No. But anyway, they're singing this accompanied by an electric organ, the sort that used to get used in funerals.
Oh, yeah.
It's, well, decide for yourself.
Here we go. No, it's awful. It was awful. The Chipmunks are a weird thing. The Chipmunks are kind of big again. Because they constantly it keeps popping up on Netflix. You may want to watch on my Netflix. Right, we have 4 different profiles: me, my eldest son, my youngest son, although we don't, and my mother-in-law, because we have it in her house. Is that against the Netflix rules? It may be. And I know when they've been using my profile, because it says you may be interested in Alvin and the Chipmunks. What's it called when they're cast away on an island? It's something like Chipwrecked. Chipwrecked. That's it. Chipwrecked. Yeah, which is actually quite a good film. I'll be honest. It's not a bad film to watch for the kids. But I don't want to watch it on my own. And yet Tony Netflix suggests that I might want to watch it, because I also watched a load of other crap. But I haven't. I make sure I set up this profile specifically so I wouldn't be recommended kids' films. 0344 499 1000 is the telephone number. Yes, well done. If you want to give us a call. Iain Lee, Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
A thing she hardly knew, so thin and rare and small and few. It smells just like me and it smells just like you. She's blinded for the best in this bright tree. She makes her nest. Everyone laughs as she struggles up high. Everyone's happy and she wants to die. And so far everything is new. It smells just like me and it smells just like you. Sad disgrace drawn on its face. She sleeps in the butt in a place where no summer shines, no tears are shed for the living or for the dead. Even love comes to anything, but there's bloods in her eyes shine with formaldehyde. Cries with a different feeling, when the chaos ensues with a new appetite. And in the wormless sand shall she a feast for no foul glutton be. She's washed by the sea to a place where no summer shines, no tears are shed for the living or for the dead.
So I've become... Clink. There we go. I've become obsessed with Cardiacs. This band, their hard work. That's one of the pop tunes, right? Their hard work. And when I was at college, I had a friend, a guy called Richard, who was really into them. And we used to go around to his house and get stoned, and we'd listen to Cardiacs, you know, but it was never really my thing, and I always found them quite hard work, right? Let me play 30 seconds of the song I was going to play, but I bottled it. This was a single. They released this as a single. It's 30 seconds. Here we go. Wait for the tune. Wait for the chorus. Go, let me have the chorus.
My own existence. It's like the end of time.
Now, and at the time, I didn't really like it. They did one album, a double album called Sing to God, and I enjoyed that album a lot, and I've just recently bought that. But at the time, I didn't dig a lot of that stuff. But now I'm really starting to dig a lot of that stuff. It's very Zappa-esque. Tim Smith, the guy, the kind of the brains behind it, is obviously I'm going to say he's a genius. He's a genius. And that sounds like a mess, right? If the first time you hear it, it sounds like a mess. But it's a mess that everyone is playing exactly the same thing to, which is what makes it genius. Absolute genius. And I'm kind of and I sort of used to know Tim Smith a bit, and I used to know Cardiacs a bit because they were friends with a friend, and then I was friends with someone who ended up in Cardiacs, a bloke called Carvus Tarabi. Carvus Tarabi is Iranian, and his dad, this is the thing I remember about Carvus, is, you remember the theme tune to Going for Gold with Henry Kelly, right? His dad was Iranian, and his English wasn't great, I don't think. This is the way the story was told to me. And his dad thought that every line in the Going for Gold theme tune was sung in a European language, right? And he thought the first line was, the he maison. That's what he thought it was, the he maison. So for whenever, the he maison, the time is right. And he was convinced. But, and I sort of knew Tim Smith a bit. And I was at the pub with him a few times, and we didn't really speak very much because I didn't really understand. But I went and saw them about 6, 7, 8 times, and I went on the minibus to a gig in Cambridge with them, and we got to sit with them and stuff. And Tim did the sound for a band that I was in called Magnilda. I'll play you one of them one day. They're good. I was bass, backing vocals, very good. And Tim did the sound a few times, and so I sort of knew him to say hello to and chat a little bit, and he was very quiet and very shy. And then in 2007, the big, basically Blur. If you listen to the early Blur records, they ripped off Cardiacs massively. Blur, and then Blur kind of went pop. And then in 2007, 2008, Tim Smith, I guess he was in his 40s, I don't really know, had a massive heart attack and then a series of strokes that kind of left him. Well, I don't really know. I don't quite know what condition. I know he's very, very ill for a very long time, and I suspect he'll be unable to play music ever again. And I don't know why they've popped up in my consciousness recently, but they have done a lot. And I find them absolutely fascinating. And I find the whole situation with what happened to Tim, for some reason, well, it is really sad. For some reason, I find it sad. It is a really sad situation. This guy that was so creative, and they had a minor hit. They had one minor hit in the late 80s, which the title escapes me now. Can't remember. Anyway, I don't know why I'm banging on about them, but I'm finding them fascinating, and it's really interesting rediscovering all this stuff now that I don't smoke and I don't take don't drink and I don't take drugs. So I'm hearing all this stuff kind of clear-headed for the first time and going, oh, actually, yeah, this is amazing. You know, this is properly amazing stuff, and I really would like. Well, I'd like to make a film about Cardiacs, but I don't know them well enough. I don't know the material well enough to do it. And I mentioned it to a couple of the guitarists on Twitter, and they didn't respond, which kind of makes me think, oh, well, no one's interested. I don't know. But anyway, I thoroughly recommend it. I'll keep tweeting Cardiac songs as I find them, because they are. They're hard work, but they're a joy. And man alive, they were so exciting to watch live. It was a real proper performance. And Tim Smith would just shout, "Shut up, you lot!" He'd just shout at the audience, and they lapped it up. Absolute wonderful. Geeky girl.
Hey, hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 geeky girl. Long time no speak. What you got?
Yeah. Oh, sorry about that. I've sort of relocated to the other end of the country, and then I didn't have a phone and got no Wi-Fi, and I've moved in with my partner, okay, and get this, he doesn't like late night radio.
Oh.
And I can't really listen very much, but he's away for a bit.
This is never going to work.
I know, I might have to leave him.
Why doesn't he, why doesn't he like late night radio? Was he just like being in bed to go to sleep, or he doesn't like what's talked about, or what's his, what is it?
Well, it's more like early starts, plus I may have played your podcast too many times when he was around.
Oh, right, I see.
He may have had overload of the Iain Lee show.
Oh, I see. Well, I'm jealous, you see. The boys get jealous.
Ah, gotcha, I see what's happening.
John, can I just say, can I blow my own trumpet? I don't have one. So I just...
Well, get one.
I just tweeted, right, I was going to play this Cardiac song and then bottled it, the one I just played a minute of. And then John Ronson, a man who I have ultimate respect and love for, just said, the only good thing that happened in 2016 was getting to retweet this. And he's retweeted the thing where I said I was going to play Cardiacs.
Oh, hey, you've made it.
I think I get points for that.
There you go.
Oh, that's nice. Right. Okay. Well, I played it. Now I can't engage. Here's the thing: when someone you admire or someone famous retweets or comments or says something to you on Twitter, don't comment back because you look sad. You look sad. You look sad. You look desperate. You look desperate. I had that once with Danny Baker, where I was engaging in a conversation, and I just went one tweet too many, and I was left hanging, and I thought, I look sad now. No,
easily done though. Don't beat yourself up.
Yeah, these things happen. Happen.
It's the hashtag first world problems, isn't it?
Where we go, you see. Anyway, what did we? So you've listened. You've called in. He's jealous. He's not the man you thought he was going to be. That's fine. So, what have you got for us?
Well, a couple of lines.
Muslims? That's tomorrow. That's tomorrow's show.
Wrong show, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, when I moved up here,
yeah,
I kind of looked around the broad area to find places where I can get a bit of a back massage.
Oh.
You know, a bit of stress relief.
Yeah, yeah.
And I looked over a wide area so that I could sort of compare prices because I'm a bit brassic at the moment.
Yeah.
And my goodness, I found one not too far from me, which offers some standard treatments and therapies.
Yes.
But then it mentioned a word I had no idea what it meant.
Reiki?
No.
Oh.
Not in the realms of Reiki.
Okay.
Far more strange.
Uh-oh.
So I clicked on the link to find out more.
Not O&A levels.
So again?
No. Okay, carry on.
No. This therapy will help you if you are suffering from the following.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Black magic,
Aye.
jinn possession, and the evil eye.
It's not Mr. Bastafire, is it? Is it Mr. Bastafire?
I've got no idea.
Hey, flipping it. You got, whoa, are you suffering from the evil eye and black magic?
I don't think I am, but now I'm worried.
You got a bad back, have you?
Well, just a bit of general, you know.
Could be a hex. Do they do hexes? Do they do hexes?
Let me have a read.
This could be a hex.
It consists of incantation therapy.
Oh, yeah.
And reciting some holy verses and offers counselling, and it's very, very discreet.
Mate, you've got... How much is it?
I'm so not... you've got to put in your details for more information.
Oh. Mate, you've got to do it. You've got to... This could be... You've got to be a pioneer, and you've got to give this a go.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
But, you see, coming from a clinical perspective, shouldn't they refer people?
Well, I don't think you can... I don't think you can be referred for hexes.
Yeah, mental health, clinical psychologists, so forth.
Okay.
Isn't that more appropriate?
I just don't think that you want to get well.
You think I'm welling in my problems?
Yeah, I do. I think your biggest problem, geeky girl, is you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, prices! I found prices. Hang on.
Yeah, go on. How much to get rid of the evil eye?
Oh, it's not that. It's got cupping treatment prices, physio prices, ear candles.
Bullshine.
It doesn't. Yeah, they are bullshine.
Was it bullshine.co.uk?
I think so, and I can tell you about candles from a physics research background, and now I'm an ear specialist.
Hoppy ear candles.
Bullshine.
Bullshine. We put candle in ear. What is it supposed to cure?
Well, people say it gets all the wax out, don't they?
Oh, do they? Is that what it is? I thought it was... Oh. Well, that might work, mightn't it? Well, hang on. If you're melting a candle in your ear, you'll get more wax.
Well, this is the thing, right? First of all, sticking something in your ear, setting fire to it, probably not a good idea.
No. Well...
But the physics... With the heat and the candle, there's no way you can generate that level of suction.
My mum, remember I had earache when I was about 13, and she had heard that you don't see people with cotton wool in their ears anymore, do you?
No.
In the 70s and 80s, everybody had a bit of cotton wool in their ears. You don't see it now. But she heard that putting a bit of hot, warm oil in someone's ear would loosen up the earwax and would help the earache. So she boiled up some cooking oil.
Oh.
Boiled up. Then she got a metal teaspoon, put it in filled it with boiling oil, and poured it in my ear. I remember scampering around on the floor. The only one I could use. I was scampering on the floor in agony, and I hid under the dining room table because I was in so much pain.
The eardrum's really sensitive. And
yes!
You're supposed to, olive oil, just very slightly warm, like just above lukewarm, that can help soften wax, but not boiling. Bloody hell.
Yeah, exactly, mate. That's my mother.
Did you call Esther Ransom?
No, we didn't have Esther Ransom in those days. We just had Jimmy Savile. Geeky Girl, thank you very much indeed. 0344 499 1000, Talk Radio.
Uncut after-hours conversation for the up all-night generation. Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Well, Geeky Girl has sent me the link for this place. It really is. It really is Bullshine Central. Ruqya, for those suffering from jinn possession, J-I-N-N, guys, magic, evil eye, and also for general health. What is Ruqya as-Sharia? Oh, dear. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ruqya as-Sharia. At the therapy clinic, we work alongside trained and well-experienced Ruqya therapists. Our service, commitment and confidentiality is our utmost priority. Our clinic services was set up to meet the ever-growing needs of people who are suffering black magic, jinn possession, J-I-N-N, evil eye. The therapy that is employed to remove the jinn, J-I-N-N, or destroy black magic consists of incantation therapy, the recitation of the Quran over the person. This is known as Ruqya. You are not a loser until you lose your faith in Allah. Ladies and gentlemen, absolute bullshine. Of course, you shouldn't be going to people like that to cure yourself of any condition. You should be going to a Christian faith healer. Or have a good old-fashioned exorcism, huh? Like the old days. Craig!
Yeah.
Craig.
How are you?
Yeah. Been a tough day today, Craig. I battled, I was involved in a one-man battle against the, here, can I tell you something, Craig? Here we go, right?
Just me.
The last, I'm going to say 2 days, right? I've had this weird, I've been in this weird mental place. May I share it with you?
You certainly can.
I've not felt depressed.
Right.
I've not felt anxious. I've not felt joy. I've not felt happiness. I have felt absolutely nothing. Nothing. I felt nothing.
Yeah, lack of joy is a symptom, isn't it?
Well, it's a lack of anything. And I made myself go to a spin class today, right? Because I spent all day in bed, literally just lying in bed. I watched the end of the Sunshine Boys, which was a little bit disappointing. And so I thought I was going to go to a spin class. And in the spin class, it was the weirdest thing, right? I was in my body. I was present in my body. And I thought, I'm going to push this. I can push this as hard as I like because I don't feel anything. I mean, I can feel the physical discomfort of, of working hard and pumping off. But I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel elated. I didn't feel depressed. I didn't feel, felt physically tired, but I didn't feel anything. It was the weirdest thing. And this is a new development in my daily battle to not jump off a bridge. And I just wondered what that feeling nothing, what that meant. I'm not expecting you to tell me the answer, Craig, and I realise I'm dumping a lot on your doorstep. No. You just phoned up to say hello, and I'm dropping all this stuff off. But I meant to mention this earlier. Just felt nothing. Didn't feel hungry. I didn't feel anything.
I get that quite often, to be honest.
Oh, flipping heck.
It goes away, though, so, someone said on the internet the other day, you've survived every other bad day.
Oh, yeah.
So the chances are, obviously...
It is at the moment. I was speaking to my friend Paul today, and it is, I'm sleeping just so I can tick off another day and go, that's one more down.
Yeah.
Like in the old films where they'd have the tally, they'd be in prison, and they'd have a chalk tally, and it would, start off one day, and then it pulls back, and there's like 100. It's like that. It's like I'm doing a little chalk tally in my head.
Yeah, it's a hard one.
It's a hard knock life. for sure. It's a hard knock life for sure. Ba-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum. Teeny-ta-dum, ta-dee-dum. Hey.
Funnily enough, those tweets you've been sending about those songs,
yeah,
I've been misreading them all this time. It's the Cardigans.
Oh.
I was thinking, why is he into the Cardigans?
I like the Cardigans. They're two albums. First Band on the Moon and the one after it. Before they went to Gran Turismo, which I thought was a little bit too slick. But the first two are nice little, tight little band. I enjoyed that.
It was only when you played it.
I'm waiting.
That's not the Cardigans.
No, that's not the Cardigans, mate. It's Cardiacs.
About 20 minutes ago, I sent you a link. Did you see it? I made the news.
Was that you about the pothole update?
Yeah, the second line after the headline.
Hang on a minute.
I can send it again if you want.
Yeah, send it. Well, what did it say?
Well, I've just sent it again to you.
Hang on.
Oh, it says I've already sent that tweet, so it's not going to let me.
Oh.
So I'll read out the second headline underneath, shall I?
Hang on a minute. History. If I go to history,
It was only about 20 minutes ago.
Here we go. I got it. So you sent me walesonline.co.uk. Pothole damages at least 10 cars and caused tailbacks on a major South Wales road. A van also overturned at the scene, although it is not known whether it was caused by the pothole. And this website was giving live updates.
Hey, that van, that was me.
You were the fella in the van?
Yeah.
Was it caused by the pothole?
No, it was caused by my axle locking on my back wheels. And it sent me from the inside lane to the outside lane into the barrier and flipped over.
Hey, flipping it. Well, then walesonline.co.uk needs to update that information. We've got the scoop on walesonline.co.uk. They need to update that information because that information is misleading and that is derogatory to potholes.
They've also quoted later down the policeman said I was 55, the cheeky get.
Hey!
See me, it's 47, man.
Oh, mate! What's it like to be in a vehicle that flips over?
It's very strange. It's literally like an amusement ride.
Oh.
Feeling the physics of it.
Yeah.
Seatbelt held.
Yeah.
So it flipped onto his side, not to his roof.
Oh, Craig, you're such a disappointment to me.
If seatbelt held you in, I'm like, oh yeah, and then trying to fumble your hand to get out of the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm a bit like concussed, to be honest. But there's no cuts on it.
Well, hang on, you say you're a bit concussed, Craig. What's your name?
Craig.
Do you know how many fingers am I holding up?
Does it hurt?
Maybe you are 55.
Yeah, it could be all horrible. I might be in a coma.
You could. This is it. This is that program with John Sims in Life on Mars. You're in a coma, and I'm the sexy nurse.
And Bowie's still alive.
Bowie's still alive. Yep.
I'll be all right.
You're not in a coma, Craig. You phoned us up. It's the same old rubbish as usual. Did you go to the hospital?
No, I refused. Oh, they did. They said I was okay, and I said I didn't want to go.
Shock, though. The thing is, it may or may not be concussion, but you'll be in shock.
Well, I picked up all the insides, and I had ladders on the roof.
Yeah.
And they're all bent and buckled, so it was a 70 mile an hour impact.
Have you had the shaking yet? Have you started shaking?
No.
You'll shake. You'll get the shakes.
All right.
And you'll get the shakes, and you might burst into tears spontaneously.
Oh, that could happen any time.
Well, yeah.
Again, if this is the life I have to live, it might likely will.
Here's the thing. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to put the phone down.
Yeah.
You're suddenly going to burst into tears, and you're just going to start uncontrollably shaking.
Oh, okay.
That's what's going to happen because I'm sort of this phone call is still keeping you in the moment. And then once you put the phone down, you'll the enormity. You've stared death in the face, Craig.
This might be source code. I might be in that box.
You're not in a coma, Craig. Honestly, I promise you, you're not in a coma. This is real life, real London, proper busy. This is as good as it gets.
Marvellous.
Yeah.
I don't want to get off the phone, though.
Well, I'm gonna cut. Imagine how heartbreaking this is for me. The moment I end this phone call, about 10 seconds after I end the phone call, you're going to go into a shock attack. Okay?
Oh, thanks for that.
No, it's a problem. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Crying like a baby.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0344 499 1000. Wednesday, we've got Peter Tatchell coming on the show, which is very timely because he was all over the shop this weekend as he stormed Jeremy Corbyn. I must admit, he's confronted Nick Griffin, he's tried to arrest Mugabe, and he's paraded down the streets of Moscow, getting kicked in, talking about gay rights. Yeah, storming a Jeremy Corbyn speech. I don't know. It's not exactly the toughest situation to storm, is it? But we'll talk to him about that, and we'll just celebrate. We'll celebrate the magic of Peter Tatchell. I've been thinking that people that are heroic, and I do think he's heroic, and some people think he's an idiot, and that's fine. But I think he's heroic. We need to celebrate these people while they're around. Peter's a young man; he'll be around for a long, long time. But you never know, do you? So I think we should celebrate these people, and if people have done good stuff, we should say, well done, congratulations, you. Carrier.
Hello.
Hey, Carrier, you're through to the Midnight Groove Show. What grooves would you like playing, Carrier, you're through to the... Hey, Carrier, you're through to Midnight Grooves. What grooves would you like to hear after midnight this evening?
Well, dear Iain,
give us the name of your groove, and we'll get that groove on.
My groove would be No Limits by Too Unlimited.
Okay, so Carrier, you want to hear, and just tell us why is that groove such a groove for you, Carrier?
Because it's back in the 70s.
Yeah. It was 1993, of course.
Was it?
Yeah.
Back in 1993.
Let me say yeah!
She was singing there.
Sorry?
She must be singing something.
Yeah. I heard an amazing... All of my knowledge of current pop music, Katya, comes from going to the gym. And there was a song. There was a song playing, and I'm sure I heard these were the lyrics when I was spinning. It was a bit hard because I was spinning. Pumping off, fit, muscular, sweaty, pain, legs. And it was a song and it went... Feed-a-dee-dee-dee-die, gonna be horny till I die. Horny till I die?
Imagine that.
Horny until you die?
You would die if you were.
You would die of just exhaustion if you were horny and horny. It's feed-a-dee, gonna be horny till I die. Flipping heck! The thought of it! Jeez! I couldn't believe it, the poor lad! And there's not, I don't think there's enough discussion about people who are horny until they die. And that's why it is an unsustainable lifestyle, and there's very little help for these people who are faced with this condition. And that's why Talk Radio's charity at Christmas this year is going to be the help for the horny, help for the insatiable horniacs. That's the technical term, insatiable horniacs. And so this Christmas, Talk Radio will be having a sponsored 24 hours of shows on Wednesday. We'll be having loads of events. We're going to be auctioning off all kinds of things for those insatiable horniacs. Because the number of men and women that die from horniness it's growing every year, Katia, and so we are really pleased to be working in association with the Horn Dogs Trust to bring to the attention of all of the people who are horny until they die. Not the young people, because even though it's a condition, they tend to grow out of it. But some people never grow out of it. Some people, the horniness they feel when they're 15, 16, 17, they never grow out of it. And so, as just let me finish, Katie, because it's an important message. No. It's an important message. And it sounds like you're eating a sandwich. I hope it's a sandwich. And maybe you're a sufferer of insatiable horniness. Katia, we will be doing everything we can on Wednesday. Join Paul Ross at 6 o'clock on Wednesday morning, right through the day. We'll be talking about insatiable horniness. Julia Hartley-Brewer will be doing a special on... Are you okay? Calm down. We'll be doing a special on chastity belts. And we'll be talking horniness all day, Katia, trying to raise awareness, but more importantly, trying to raise a bit of cash for those old horn dogs.
That's the end of the sentence, is it?
Yeah, it's the sentence is end. The sentence is still in. This is the prologue of the sentence, and it's just now. The end is in sight. I can see the full stop, and it's there.
I wanted to say...
We'll have to come back to you after this, Katia.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Boily! Boily!
Oh, I still smell Dexter Fletcher.
Didn't he smell nice?
He lingers.
Wasn't he charming?
Mm-hmm. He's very nice, even though you were yelling at him down the phone when I met him.
We'll put that as a podcast. That's my favourite intro to the show.
It was really good.
We'll put that as a podcast tomorrow evening. About 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, they tend to go up, don't they, the next day?
As soon as I get in, because I make them in the morning and then put them up as soon as I get in.
There we go.
I'm doing my best, man.
There we go. Flipping it, what's her face? Yes, Katia!
Hello. Just wanted to say to the lovely people at Radio 4...
What?
Yes.
So call them.
She's right, because Katia is still smarting because JP Devlin, who works on Radio 4 and is an excellent part of the team on the Saturday morning show.
Very good, yes.
Yeah, you'd never even heard of him.
You
have now.
No, yes.
They steal all our ideas, all everything you on Radio 4 is basically it's been done on this show.
You wait, they'll be talking about the Horn Dogs just tomorrow.
Yeah, of course they will. They're going to ditch their chosen charity of homeless people at St Martin's in the Fields, and they're going to go for the Horn Dogs, which is fun, which is great because it's charity.
It's all money and it all helps.
It's all awareness. It's great. But he tweeted last week saying that Katia should read a bedtime story on this show. And now Katia's going, what is a joke? What is this joke? Why are you making fun of me? What is this? What are you doing to me? Vox Populi. And then she found out he's a real man. I did not know who he was.
She found out the next day, didn't she?
I've never heard of this man before. Oh, no, I love him. I radio capture, and it is so beautiful. I want to be doing this. So what do you want? Get to the point. She was starting to wind me up.
Okay. No, I just wanted to to reassure the people of Radio 4, if they're listening to this, that it's a bit of your fault if people think I'm a bit of a muppet, really.
No, it's your fault.
No, it's your fault.
How is it my fault?
No. Yes.
Katia, wait, Katia, stand. Just wait there for a second, yeah?
Okay.
Okay. 0344 499 1000. I'm not going to have someone come on my show and libel me.
No.
I'm not standing for that.
How the worm turns, right?
Yeah.
How long's she been phoning you?
Oh, years.
One sniff of JP Devlin.
Yeah.
Oh.
And he's good and stuff, and the show is a good show, you know, but
all of a sudden she turned against you?
Also, their show, I think, is like an hour, maybe 90 minutes a week.
Mm-hmm.
Try 15 hours a week, guys. Then you'll know what a real job is.
Mm.
Obviously, it's not compared to, like, building and stuff, but it's certainly more real than... And there's 3 of them. Yeah, and they have guests.
Wow.
You try... Here's the thing, Radio 4...
Don't do that impression at the moment.
No.
It's topical.
Well, no, I not got the butter. On Radio 4.
No.
Here's the thing, I'm going to make you an offer that you can't refuse. And the offer is, you stick it up your ass.
Oh, there we go again. Is she still there?
No, she's gone. Cut her off.
Oh.
She's boring me with her libel. No. In fairness, I cut her off because if she had continued to libel me, it would have been a clear case that I could have wiped her clean in the courts, and I chose not to do that. So that's actually quite a generous thing of me, not to take all her money and get her deported. She's here illegally.
Yeah. We know where she is too, Grantham.
Unfortunately. Lee!
Yeah.
What?
Hello.
What?
What kind of cake?
No, what?
I fell asleep, so I haven't been listening. Hello?
What do you expect me to do about that? Recreate the last 3 hours?
No, but I fell asleep, so I don't know what means.
I'm getting to the end of my tether with you lot.
Sorry, but I've got a really important question for you.
Oh, wait, away you go.
I went onto Spotify the other day.
Yeah.
To listen to I'm a Titty Man and all that.
Yep.
And it's not there anymore.
Yeah, it's got taken down then. I asked for it to be taken down.
Why?
Because it was more hassle than it was worth. The joke wore pretty thin after a while.
But I love listening to those tracks.
You should have bought them.
Too late now.
Yeah, it's too late now. It's too late now. They're gone.
So you took them down. That's a shame. So you're going to put any more up?
Maybe, but not with Nigel.
Right. He demanded too much money, was he?
It was getting... It stopped being fun, you know, when I've got someone demanding that I find a checkbook and write a cheque for money that I haven't been paid yet and won't be paid for ages and ages, and then, there is a slight hint that maybe I'm ripping that person off. Here's the thing, guys, I'm the one that's going to be paying tax on that 300-odd quid that we're going to make, so it just stopped being fun.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
There we go.
All right, thanks for telling me that.
Thanks for calling.
Bye.
Bye. That was strange. It just stopped being fun. Music for me. Oh,
but it always does when you get successful.
I am reading the geekiest book. I think I got this for a penny. The geekiest book. It's a little bit out of date 'cause it's 1994. The Beatles, the ultimate recording guide.
Oh my goodness.
And I've kind of missed bits out. It basically tells you what were recorded where. It's basically a book of lists.
Okay.
And there's, 580 odd pages.
What's the most moving part? What was the thing that stood out for you the most?
Oh, look, look. It's an old library book, look. Very good. But I'm just reading. So this is what I'm reading. Pick a year.
1972.
Okay, so I'm just reading the bootleg section because I'm fascinated by bootlegs. 1972, let's get to that. Early that year, John Lennon reportedly gave approximately 25 hours of unreleased Lennon tapes to Bruce Bierman during the recording of David Peel's The Pope Smokes Dope album. Produced by Lennon, Bierman claimed that the tapes contained Beatles rehearsals, outtakes and unreleased Lennon compositions. Oh, that's exciting!
That's quite juicy, actually.
January the 13th, John and Yoko were guests on the David Frost Show in the US and sang John Sinclair, Attica State, The Luck of the Irish, and Sister O Sisters. The Lennons were backed by David Peel and the Lower East Side Band. The first two songs are on telecasts and the live Lennon tapes.
Gosh.
February the 1st. An unreleased filmed Wings rehearsal of Give Ireland Back to the Irish is on in the 1970s. The recording reportedly comes from a screening on the David Frost Show.
Is it all that?
Yeah!
Okay.
Yeah.
So what they've done, essentially, is go into the Beatles' kitchens,
Yeah.
get their calendars,
Love it.
and just copy down what they did every day.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It's just, you can just get totally lost.
I'm going to finish my Luke Haynes book. Well, your Luke Haynes book, the first one tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, isn't it a joy?
I've got to take my car to be serviced. I've got to sit there while they do it.
Yeah. Gosh, you take a long time to read books.
I haven't. Do you know why? I keep falling asleep.
Oh.
I'm tired.
Yeah. And I do, I use the tube a bit, so I read on the tube.
I don't, you see.
Constant reader on the tube. Finished Stephen Still's book. We'll give that away. Or I'll give it to charity shop, actually. No, you can't have it, listeners. You buy it. If you know, buy it from a charity shop or buy it for real. And I was going to start the Brian Wilson book. I've got a nice backlog of books building up. But then I thought, no. Beatles lists. Here we go. 1991. Matchbox, January the 25th. Matchbox and the Fool from Paul's TV appearance for MTV's Unplugged show remain officially unreleased, nor were they aired on the TV broadcast. Underground videos of the entire show have circulated, and the two missing songs, plus We Can Work It Out and Ain't No Sunshine, are unplugged and unplugged, taken from a stereo soundboard recording. Here we go. March the 3rd, 1991. George, I miss you, George, took the stage at a convention of George Formby fans held at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. Armed with a ukulele, he sang Formby's In My Little Snapshot album. No known recordings of the performance have surfaced, although amateur home videos were taken. George also participated in a closing group play and sing-along on this day. I mean, that is what it's all about. That is what it's all about.
That all day, though, is that you?
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, it's all day. Old people are smoking more and more spliffs.
Are they?
Yes, they are. You didn't expect to get that. Let's have a little look here. Little Mix, I mean, seriously, they're going to get catch a chill on their vaginas.
I saw... They started out dressed and then they slowly...
I thought that was I don't know a lot about them, but I thought that... I was reading someone that was what was so good about Little Mix to start with, is they were just kind of girly and wholesome, and now they've become, the generic Pop-Tart, which is, if that's what they want to do, that's absolutely fine. Is it what they want to do? Or is there some media mogul at the top, Simon Cowell, who's telling them that's what they've got to do?
Simon Cowell's idea of entertainment is getting people... I mean, he's still doing that thing where he gets a load of girls on to do dancing in the background of really boring acts.
That's classic.
Well, that's 70s, isn't it?
The number of people... Well, there's a picture of an old man, and they've just, superimposed a long cigarette in his mouth. It says, spaced out, spliff fan. Oldie's getting dopey.
Show me a picture. Show me the picture.
Well, that doesn't even look like a... He's just got, a piece of chalk in his mouth. That's not a spliff. That's not a spliff. That's not a spliff. This is a spliff. What was that? How does he talk? Are you seen With Nell and I? Well, no, that is not a spliff. That is not a spliff, my friends. This is the spliff. Who's that? The Campbell or Carrot Man?
I've seen it, but I don't remember it.
I like that film. Yeah. No, you misunderstand me, my friend. I can see his impression of him.
I remember the bit where it said, "My father's a QC," and I demand
to have some booze. Well, no, you see, that is integral to the plot. That is not. This is the Camberwell Carrot. The number of middle-aged people smoking spliffs has rocketed sky high. A study of more than 47,000 over 50s in the States.
Oh, well.
Well, it's become legal in a lot of the States now, hasn't it?
Exactly.
So that is nonsense. in the US found a 71% rise in marijuana use between 2006 and 2006. But it's legal in loads of places now. They make loads of money on it on tax.
The increase in admitted marijuana use. I expect that these are the same people that were doing it before.
Yeah, I'm reading the rest of it. That's not a story. I didn't realise it was in America, you see, because in America it's legal. Most places now. Though isn't Trump going to repeal that law? Oh, guys, free the weed. Free the weed, man. Don't take drugs, as mine.
Trump doesn't take any drugs, does he?
No. Imagine being the cocaine dealer for the President of the United States of America. That would be amazing. Oh, here we go. This is what the show is going to be. I forgot to do this. The sickie, something you know a lot about, Catherine.
What are you talking about?
Oh, come on, sick note.
I've not been off sick once here.
No, because you know that they're a little bit stricter than they're at the BBC when it's licence payers' money that's swilling around the place.
You did used to call me sick note. That was really rude.
Yeah, because you were always off.
I wasn't always off sick. But
no, you were bunking off.
No, and I know what this is. You just missed me when I was off, so you had to make me feel bad about it.
The sickie is usually a ruse to avoid work and to get an extra day off. But it seems, and this is interesting, this is very interesting, it seems social events, such as the office Christmas party, are just as unappealing to some as going to work. More unappealing, with more than a third admitting they invent minor illnesses to get out of them. A survey found 37% admit to pulling a social sickie in the past year. Of these, 49 did so to avoid meeting up with friends, while 40% used non-existent ailments to dodge office socials. Yeah, totally. Well, why would anyone want to, we went to the big Christmas party last week. I can't make this Christmas party because it's Wednesday, is it?
The 15th.
Yeah. Is it 12, 13, 14? It's Thursday. I've got a migraine then.
Oh.
Women were more likely to lie about an illness or exaggerate symptoms to get out of events, with 40% doing so compared with 32% of men. The thing about these stories that gets me is the people that have conducted the surveys. Have a guess. You'll never guess who's conducted a survey about people pulling sickies to avoid office parties.
Staples.
Fisherman's Friends. Fisherman's Friends have done it. What? And I never normally read out the name of the survey because I think it's cheap publicity.
But this is their milieu, isn't it? This is their department.
Fisherman's Friends. Has anyone ever actually had a fisherman's friend?
Yeah, I have.
They're horrible, aren't they?
Yeah, but last year, when I was still working in Dunstable, I went in the local Asda.
Oh, yeah.
And I was very husky.
Yeah.
And I did all my shopping.
Yeah.
And the woman behind the till offered me a fisherman's friend.
One of her own?
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought that was quite
sweet.
sweet.
I hope you didn't take it.
I did.
Well, because she would have put her snotty, fecal-stained fingers in that bag. So you basically...
She looked
clean. A strange woman let you eat her poo. And you think that's acceptable?
Oh, my God.
On that bombshell, dear listener, it's certainly been a show. Tomorrow, are you ready to be mean? Because we're going to be mean, although I may bottle it.
Talk Radio, the 21st century dream team of dialogue, debate and discourse.
Talk Radio, give it some lip.